that better?
Oh, yeah. Dude, thanks.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, you've got, you've got your own independent headphone channel.
Okay.
It's right here. Just one right there. You can turn it down. This one's the gain, so don't mess with that.
Okay.
But that's your headphone audio.
Hell yeah.
You're all out of breath.
Yeah.
That's a
That thing is fun. It does wear you out.
So you were just over playing on the rowing machine. What is the fish game?
Okay, so you got to row.
Here, get up right up against it.
You got to row, and then there's fish coming at you the opposite direction. And the big fish eat you, and the tiny ones you can eat and get points. So you have to maneuver yourself by rowing back and forth. And the faster you row, the more you rise. The slower you row, you drop. And you have to avoid getting eaten by the big fish. So then the big fish eat you, and then it's like, new guy.
Yeah. I like come in to get you, and you're just like out of breath, just like going, oh no, oh no. Yeah.
Oh, I was cussing up a storm. I was having a good time.
Yeah, I didn't know that it actually had games on it. That's really cool. Welcome to, what is this?
That is a juice. It's good for your immune system in times of...
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's a local place that makes it.
Spinach, kale, celery, cucumber, pear, lime.
Yeah.
G3, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Thank you.
I usually get one when I'm working in the morning. I stop at this place.
Speaking of which, I drove by you the other day on my way into work. You were dropping off at Mondovino over there in Highlands.
Yep.
Yeah, I was on my way into work, and I saw you, and you know,
Fire in the Mountain.
Right. And I like saw you out in your car, and instead of honking the horn, I like waved, thinking you would see me, but it's 8 o'clock in the morning, so no, you're not going to see me.
I run into everybody when I'm doing that, though.
See, that's a fun thing, and that's something that, like, I think what you're doing now is pretty perfect for your personality.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Because I remember when we would be doing band stuff, like that was one of your favorite things, was like going around town and running into people. Yeah. And like that is something that I still do to this day from like the days that we used to do that.
Oh, like flyer and shit like that?
Yeah, flyering or just mostly flyering, or like when a new record comes out, you got to go distribute it to all the record stores around town. Or when you're getting ready to go on tour and you don't have any records left, you got to go around to the record stores and pick them up. I mean, it's not like you have to buy them. They never gave you any money for them in the first place.
And they're still at the record store.
Right. That's the thing, is we were totally out of records, and we were getting ready to go on tour, and we didn't have any vinyl to sell. And I called every record store where we had records, and either we had sold 0 or 1. And so I had to like go around to every record store in town and collect them up.
Because you like Chain Reaction, Twist and Shout.
Yeah. Chain Reaction, Twisted Shout, Wax Tracks, all the Angelos, stuff like
Angelos.
that. Yeah. I mean, I try to get them out as much as I can, but I mean, I feel like the people who are going to record stores are kind of looking for maybe like limited stuff left over from record store day, or they're going and looking for something like weird and obscure. They might not necessarily be shopping for local stuff that they can get at a show.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Definitely.
I mean, maybe sometimes, I don't know.
I don't fucking know.
I don't know how it works.
I don't go. I guess I'm guilty. I don't shop at record stores as much.
Yeah, I mean,
I shop at Mutiny.
Yeah.
But I buy books there mostly.
Yeah, it's been a while since I bought a record in a record store, but mostly it's because I don't have room for any more shit in our house.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like when I moved in, I brought a trunk and a suitcase and like my clothes.
Where do you live at?
I live with Sarah, and she owns a townhome.
Oh yeah, that's right.
She's great.
Fuck yeah.
She's great. It's weird though, and I definitely I feel like, you know, now's the time when we should definitely be having a conversation about how fucking crazy the world is right now. But one thing that was really funny is we're sitting around the house today and we're talking about everything, and she's like, I haven't been able to go anywhere for a year because I'm a new mom, so I can't go to shows. It's hard for me to go to the grocery store, like all these different things. She's like, She's like, basically everyone in the world is a stay-at-home mom now. Like,
But some of us suck at it.
yeah, right. Hey, real quick, let's intro the episode. This is episode.
Are we just bullshitting, or is it going?
Oh, we're live.
Oh.
Yeah, we're live. This is episode number 98 of the motherfucking podcast. This is, of course, the official podcast of the international power rock combo, Motherfucking Ruckus, from Denver and Chicago, respectively. I'm Aaron Howell. Gordo is actually on self-quarantine right now. And Ethan Klein is working on some other stuff for QSC. And so it's just me and Tay sitting here live and streaming. Okay, I'm like in the middle of doing the intro, and like Tay's like digging through his bag, pulling stuff out for it. And he just pulls out a slingshot and a book that just says, Farts, a Spotter's Guide.
It's for you. I got some. This is a present for you. The slingshot's mine. It was in the way of the book.
You're like, no, you can't have the slingshot.
Yeah. Well, anyway, you can finish the thing though.
No, I'm done.
Okay.
That was the like perfect segue. That was the most Tay moment I think in the entire time that I've known you. Is just like like first playing on the rowing machine and having to get your attention to like come in here and do the show. And then just the slingshot in the book of farts. This is really cool.
It's for you and for the show because I figured it has buttons on it.
Buttons. These are great.
Yeah, it's always a good thing to be able to make have a fart sound maker.
I like how number 2 is like kind of like a SBD, not a complete SBD. Listen. It sounds more like a diesel engine, right?
Like if an alien. That's a wet one.
Dude, Wow. Wow. This is great. Dude, this is the best birthday present ever. Thank you so much.
You can have one of them.
Okay.
So you said like bring. I brought some mezcal.
Oh yeah.
In a flask though, because I didn't want to carry a whole bottle.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I would taste some.
All right.
Easy.
Also, you said bring Transformers or GI Joes. But I don't have any Transformers because I'm not a fucking dork.
Right.
But
because I'm not a fucking dork.
But you can have one of these. I brought a couple Cobras.
What? I can have a. Oh.
So you choose which one.
Oh, do I want Cobra Commander or Destro?
Is that Cobra Commander?
That's Cobra Commander.
The guy that talks like this.
And this is Destro.
All right.
I'm going to take Destro.
Okay, cool.
Destro's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, right on. Dude.
Fuck yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's fucking great. Well, first of all, how are you? How have you been?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, are you out of work? Like, have they called you off of work? Because what you do right now is you do like wine delivery, right?
Yeah.
Because I had Micah on the show recently.
And he got me the job.
Yeah. So tell me what's going on with your work situation, first of all. Let's start immediately local with like what's going on in our personal lives with the world fucking shit in the bed right now.
Zombies all over the place.
Zombies all over the place, man. No, so what's up with work?
Well, so I deliver to liquor stores and restaurants and bars. In the restaurant, I'm guessing the restaurants and bars are going to be closed.
Yeah.
So that's done. But if liquor stores stay open, that's probably going to pick up.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm hoping for. They can't close liquor stores during.
Yeah, I don't think they will. And we're actually thinking that over here at the Nug Nation, we'll probably be busier because Netflix and chill is going to be a way of life come this summer, and so people are going to be smoking a bunch of weed.
Yeah.
And the only way to reach them, for these brands to reach them, is going to be through online content, and so they're going to need content, and that's what we make here.
Fucking rocking, yeah.
Right. So, pull that mic closer to you. You can move it closer if you want to lean back. That's totally cool. Just you want to get it closer to your face.
Drop my G.I. Joe.
So
we should position him doing something cool.
Oh yeah, good call. Good call. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have Destro up here, like kind of posting up on the stand, just keeping an eye on things. Yeah, we just got word today about the restaurant closures.
Yeah,
and
it sucks.
Fortunately, my employers are doing everything they can to try and keep everybody working.
At Fire in the Mountain?
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be doing primarily takeout business, and at a certain I'll try a sip of it. Let me try it. So this is mezcal?
Yeah, I just bought it yesterday. I'll show you.
Cool.
I'll show you the picture of the bottle. But anyway, I'm listening to you.
Oh, it's very tasty. It's really smoky.
Anyway.
Yeah, so one of the things that they did is they started allowing delivery for the first time. We used to be really opposed to delivery just because it slows us down because it's such a busy place. So
only closed hours.
So what we're going to do is we're just going to have like half of our normal staff, and we're like seriously going to meet people at the door with gloves and masks and hand off food to them.
No shit. That's
Yeah.
badass.
Yeah. So, and I mean, we've been really busy because, things, even though maybe it should be slowing people down, it hasn't been. And people, I think, are really in a hurry for things to feel normal in some way. So we've been doing a ton of to-go business.
Yeah.
And lots of people coming in and getting chicken wings and whatnot, especially because, like, I ended up buying like $50 worth of chicken wings last night.
Just to take home?
Just to take home because I don't want to go to the grocery store.
Oh, okay.
Until people stop acting like maniacs. You know what I mean? Have you been to the grocery stores yet?
Let's see. Yeah, I've been to a couple of grocery stores just to get like a couple things here and there, and I didn't like it. I didn't like the overall vibe of untrustworthiness and like everybody's at a race or something.
Dude, and this is what happens when we only get our information from mass and social media.
Right.
You know, so you came to the White Fudge show we did at Three Kings.
Yeah, last show at Three Kings.
And the last show at Three Kings. And what the big takeaway for that for me was it was really cool to get outside of social media and outside of the media space and just go see people hanging out and like, telling each other they loved each other and, really kind of having this desire to come together. I know it's, obviously now it's in our best interest for the sake of flattening the curve that we try and reduce the amount of time we spend out as much as possible, just to like slow things down a little bit. But, at that time, I felt it was very important to see some people face to face and be like, hey, everything's okay. Everyone's fine. We're going to be all right. You know what I mean?
I am addicted to that. That's why it sucks. This really sucks because I love going to shows and being social. And
right.
I don't really like, I kind of roll solo. I'm kind of in between. I'm a loner making my own way places.
But you like people.
I love people.
Yeah.
But I like to be able to be like, all right, I'm going right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to this party. I'm going to go to this show and just show up. And then I get to see everybody I want to see.
Right.
So I don't really make plans like, let's go to the show together.
Right.
I go to see everybody, and when shows aren't happening, I'm like, fuck, what am I gonna do?
Right. So what are you doing to like stay normal and manage the day to day? Like, what are you doing right now?
I try to stay. I don't want to be normal ever.
Dude, I remember when we would go on tour, and you would get so annoyed when people would try and make you do stuff with a group.
I know, dude.
It's like, what's the group doing? Okay, let's make sure we all move together as one solid group. And you're like, fuck that. I'm gonna go for a walk and go do what I want to do and go see what's over here and pick up this stick and play with it. I don't give a fuck what you guys do. Like, the only time you gave a fuck about what people did is when it came time to like playing the show or like getting in the van on time.
Yeah.
Like, other than that, it's like, you go do your thing. I'll go do my fucking thing.
Well, I do like hanging out in groups, but there's something like freeing about just exploring and
right.
But I think my biggest thing is not like waiting on people.
Right.
Sometimes that's why it's like it's easier. That's why I love going things like UMS, because you can roll with a friend for a little bit and then break off in different directions, get lost, and then you'll probably run into each other that night, and you're like, hey, what's up?
Yeah. No, I like that too. Like I like I don't like being confined necessarily. I have trouble in social situations where like don't have a task. Like if I'm not playing a show, or I'm not behind a bar, or working in some way,
right?
Like I like to have a project in front of me. You know what I mean?
I understand that too. Yeah.
One of the fun things about doing this podcast is it's like I get to sit down and have a conversation with friends of mine, free from distraction,
right?
But also in a situation where it's like I'm performing a task, and you know, like we're putting, like we're doing something with a purpose. Like it's a project at the same time that we're working on.
Right,
you know what I mean? By the way, I forgot to introduce you.
Oh, hey.
Please welcome to the show my very old and dear friend, our former guitar player and current guitar player for Hot Apostles, Love Stallion, and you're in one other band too, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, Decatur, but also... Like, Hot Apostles hasn't played for a while, and Decatur, the drummer, just moved away. Who's a great drummer.
So you're in kind of a holding pattern with
Holding pattern. Love Stallion's show in Los Angeles just got canceled.
It did get canceled. I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, just found out, which sucks.
You guys were supposed to go play the Whiskey, weren't you?
No, we
Oh,
played
you already
the
did the Whiskey.
Yeah, we did that in December, and we were supposed to play the Mint.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, which should have been really cool. It was supposed to be a free show.
Yeah.
Peter and Madeline were going to come out.
Oh, cool.
'Cause they live in L.A. now.
Shout out to Peter and Madeline from Machine, man.
What up, y'all?
What up, y'all?
And cheers.
Yeah.
Do you want more of this?
No, I'm
really
good, thank you.
I love this mezcal.
No, I'm sure you do, and I'm sure I would love it too, and it is quite good. But no, I allow myself a taste now and then.
Right.
I think it's look for me personally. I never got into the whole program thing. I tried I tried doing it a couple of times, and it just didn't suit me. And there are some who think that, like, if you even take a taste of something, you're just gonna lose your mind, and I can't stop. And I just stopped getting drunk, and
Easy as that.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't easy as that. It took a lot of work to get to the point where I was able to just like stop doing that part. But I didn't feel like I needed to completely throw out the baby with the bathwater, and like I can taste beers for work.
Oh yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
I've had, I want to say since I stopped drinking, I've had 2 glasses of champagne.
Oh right.
Like when I got engaged, and like one other time, maybe. Yeah.
Did you drink beer ever? Or?
I haven't had like an entire beer. I've tasted beer.
Okay.
Like when I was in, like, you know, I work around a lot of beer, so I got to know the product.
Yeah.
When we were in Amsterdam, I did taste some fresh Heineken, which, you know, I wasn't going to pass that up.
No way.
And then I did on that tour, I had 1 shot of Genever, which is like a Dutch, it tastes like gin, but it's a liqueur. Huh. It's like you like drink it ice cold, and it's like a sailor drink. It's like a juniper liqueur. Anyway, I had a shot of that on the very last day of the very first European tour we did.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's just like, oh, I've never had this before. I'll taste it. Or, you know, what does this bourbon smell or taste like, so I can describe it to people. But other than that,
because if you're gonna be around it like only once, might as well enjoy it.
Well, and I do feel like. You know, there was something your dad told me a long time ago, which was, you know, he's like, it's not like you lose complete control of your arms and your legs and your physical body.
Yeah.
When it comes time, it's like you make a choice.
Yeah.
You know, and that stuck with me. And as I was like doing work and getting through those things, it's like I started to gain agency and be able to go like, you know what, I don't have to pick up 30 beers and drink them all and drink until I pass out, you know? I don't have to do that.
Right.
I can take a sip of something and set it down and go, okay, it's probably in my best interest and everybody else's best interest if I just leave it at that.
Right.
So, yeah.
It gets hard sometimes. Like, I don't really get drunk. I mean, I'll go out and go to shows and have some shots of tequila, but I mean, a couple times I have been like, whoa, shit, and I'm walking home. I'm like, I feel vulnerable right now.
Right. It's been very rare I've seen you.
I try not to.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in a vulnerable position, but, sometimes you go into bars and they just hand you a shot.
Yeah.
Fuck, oh, thanks.
Like, I could probably count on one hand the number of times I've seen you, like way drunk.
Yeah.
For the most part, it would just be like
21st birthday.
Yeah. There was the first time we went and saw Nashville Pussy together, and we met Ryder Size after the fact, and you were very excited to meet her. Yeah. That was
I don't
one.
think
of
I remember that.
It was pretty good, man.
You
were like, you're like my favorite guitar player.
She's so fucking badass,
Yeah,
dude.
she is
Her
really
playing has just got so much attitude.
Yeah.
I got a shirt with her on it.
Do
I
you?
saw them at Lost Lake.
This last time they were there.
Yeah, like in October.
Yeah, I had Blaine on the show that night.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
That was a fun show.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Weird seeing him at Lost Lake though.
Yeah, it's a little weird, man. I like Lost Lake.
Yeah,
I'm
me
gonna
too.
really miss Tony Mason working there.
Me too.
But the thing that I found difficult about places like Lost Lake and Larimer Lounge is they're kind of destination spots. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
So like when we played at Goosetown this last weekend,
Yeah.
it was a big social event.
Fuck yeah, it was.
You know what I mean? And I'm really glad we got it in before
this bullshit.
Yeah, before the world went on lockdown. But I think the reason that show was so successful is because Goosetown is for many people a regular hangout.
Oh yeah, it's a family spot. you
Right,
know?
right. And I don't think that like Lost Lake or like Larimer Lounge are like that so much.
I think maybe they are to a certain degree, but it's just maybe different crowds. Maybe like a lot of. Well, I think Larimer is because I go to Larimer Lounge and like have a drink.
You just go there and hang
talk
out.
to Mike. Yeah.
I mean, when we
the
used to
day.
rehearse over there, I would go over and hang out with Mike.
Right. Yeah.
You
If you're
know.
on Larimer.
Hey, shout out to Mikey Mulligan, by the way. Love that dude.
Mikey.
Yeah, so I mean, but same thing with like Globe Hall, you know?
Globe Hall's definitely destination spot.
Right. I don't know what it's like during regular business hours. Like every time I've gone there.
Barbecue.
Yeah, they do have the barbecue, but that's like, oh yeah. No, they have like a barbecue window full time,
Yeah,
don't
you
they?
get barbecue tacos.
Yeah, it's good, man.
Yeah, and everybody that works there is so fucking cool. At all these places, everybody that works there, man, I feel bad for all these people because
Right.
I really like all the because I don't really work in the service industry. I'm on the back door side of it all.
You're a backdoor man.
Yeah, exactly. I walk into back doors all day long, driving down alley cracks.
I'm an alley cat.
I'm an alley cat driving down the alley crack.
No, but because you're in a band and because you're a very social person and you spend a lot of time out and about, you are around a lot of people in the service industry. Most of your most of your friends are in the service industry.
I deliver to them. I hang out with them. They serve me. And if I don't, if I'm hanging out with them, it's usually they're off work finally and they're hanging out on my side of the bar.
Right. So what has been your impression about what you're hearing from people, from friends of yours? Like people are really worried about how they're going to make a living.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like something's got to give. You know, someone's gonna have to do something to support that demographic. I mean, someone's gonna have to do that. I'm really, really hoping, and I'm not gonna hold my breath for it.
Yeah.
But I'm really hoping that like the feds or the state or the city do something to like offset that in some way, or the banks just like suspend shit, or I don't know, man. I'm really hoping that something happens.
Yeah, it's gonna take everybody working together.
Yeah,
I know that.
Yeah.
And if people don't have income and they can't pay their rent,
Right.
I mean, hopefully
No one's gonna
leasing
cancel
companies-
rent, you know.
Yeah, but hopefully, like everybody will have some sort of, understanding.
Right.
Because if it's affecting everybody, top to bottom, almost.
Yeah. What do you do when it affects everybody?
Well, and then like there's delivery drivers, like Uber people.
Right.
That like, so I guess a lot of them stopped driving.
Right.
I took a lift for a little bit earlier today, and the guy was telling me most of the drivers stopped driving.
Right, I'm sure.
Which maybe because they're afraid they're going to have like a sick person in their car or something.
Right. I know Grubhub, or at least last I heard, Grubhub and Postmates were going to keep going.
Still going?
Yeah.
Probably the same deal with restaurants making the food and only.
Yeah.
Is that still allowed though?
Yeah, I mean, it depends.
Okay.
From what I understood, is that the restrictions as of right now are that there are limited concessions made for businesses that have like to-go business or something like that.
Okay.
Like I said, we're going to start meeting people at the door with masks and gloves and shit like
Right.
that. It's crazy, man. So I mean, what's the impression that you've gotten from people that you've been talking to?
I think people are pretty fucking terrified.
Yeah. Yeah. I do have to say that on a positive note, I am very, I think it's quite remarkable that our species, our civilization has evolved to the point where we can become aware of microorganisms that can harm us. Like we can look at them through a microscope and we can go, oh shit, this is a microorganism that can harm us. And we can take action and communicate on a global scale and be proactive and do things to mitigate that, you know? It's not like the 1600s where we're sitting there going, where it's like, you know, we get ergot in our system and we go, it's a witch, or, you know, or we got to treat it with bloodletting or something like that. You know?
Yeah, but that's back when like they just dumped their sewage in the streets.
Right.
And pigs would run around in it.
Right. Well, and like we're not you know, there's a lot of comparisons. People are drawing a lot of parallels between like the Spanish influenza of like
after World War or during World War I.
Right. And I mean, it's a fair comparison in some ways. It's just like a case study, but so much has happened in 100 years. You know, 103 years that it's like it's remarkable how we're able to like organize such a large amount of the population at one time. Obviously not the entire population, but like the term flattening the curve that we talk about.
Yeah, I don't know if I know that term.
So the term flattening the curve is a term that comes from like all the epidemiologists and disease management type of people who basically the whole point behind what we're doing is to keep a surge of people from getting sick. If everybody gets sick at the same time, it overwhelms the healthcare system and you have more deaths and you have more infected and you have more people that are shown up to the hospital and who are contagious and can get other people sick. So if we quarantine people and we do social distancing, we can slow that down because World Health Organization and CDC are both saying that we're past the point of containment. You know, they said that a few days ago, and really we're at the point now where it's a matter of mitigation. So in doing this, it's basically saying that like many of us are going to get sick still eventually, but if we can drag it out over the course of 18 months, we reduce the impact on the healthcare system. So what we're doing right now to me is pretty remarkable in terms of like, you know, this is something that might have collapsed society 100 years ago.
Right.
This is something that might have really been massively destructive 100 years ago. And we've come such a long way. And I think from a positive standpoint, I think that's pretty amazing.
Our ability to communicate.
Yeah, our ability to communicate and how science is developed, you know.
Right. I think with as much as we've developed over like the last 100 years, like what we have and how we can communicate and just technology, I feel like on a biology level, those things have also evolved in the last 100 years.
Yeah, and they're going to continue to evolve.
Exactly,
you know?
which means this is always going to happen.
Well, and there are some who say that this is just a dress rehearsal for a bigger thing to come. There are some who say that it's not a matter of if but when. Yeah, you know. Right now we're looking at something that has, you know, about is basically like 3 times worse than the flu. And in some places, like in Italy, you know, they last I heard, and I'm sure it's gone up by now, it was like 1,000 deaths in Italy or something like that.
Right, and they're quarantined.
You know, and there are various reasons for that.
Yeah.
But then they've been taking their information and sharing it with other communities around the world, which may not have happened 100 years ago.
No shit.
You know what I mean? They're going, this is where we screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make the same mistakes that we did, and they're taking action to correct it.
Antibacterial soap.
Yeah.
And shit like that, like which they never had that back in the day.
Right.
So we can be a little cleaner now.
Well, and they didn't know 100 years ago. I don't think they knew what a virus was 100 years ago.
No.
Maybe theoretically. I don't know. I really have no idea when they figured out when.
Thought of a band name the other day called AIDS Fingers.
I got AIDS fingers.
Stupid.
I thought of a band the other day.
Well, you said virus, and I'm like thinking about viruses.
Yeah.
You'd be a terrorist if you had the disease and you went around sticking your finger in people's noses. You would be a fucking shitty terrorist.
Just John Walsh on America's Most Wanted, just like I'm John Walsh. We're on the lookout for a man only known as AIDS Fingers. You'd be like the Unabomber.
Or it'd be like Corona Fingers, I guess.
Corona Fingers.
That's not as exciting.
Corona Fingers Sam.
Breaking into people's houses
and sticking his finger in their nose.
Oh, that's
so does
kind of
he have,
interesting.
Does he have drippy fingers?
Like,
does he have runny fingers?
Yeah.
They just have like...
Because he gets it from his nose.
He picks his nose and like puts boogers in your mouth while you're asleep.
Or like on the subway and stuff like that. You're like, he goes up to people that are laughing or mouth breathers. He's like, ah. And they're like, stop that man. And he runs up, and he's a streaker too. He likes to smoke. He does PCP and fights cops. He's like he must be caught.
And he does PCP and fights cops.
What's his name? AIDS Fingers.
AIDS Fingers Johnny.
Johnny.
Does he hold his fingers out like little guns?
Yeah, but he has all of them.
Yeah, he's just doing that constantly. Yeah.
He has a trench coat.
Oh no, it's AIDS Fingers Johnny. Run for your lives.
Peeks out from alleyways. He can climb buildings.
Because he's got booger fingers. Right. Now, last I knew, AIDS wasn't transmissible through boogers, but in this reality, in this comic book reality, where AIDS Fingers
Johnny.
AIDS Fingers Johnny.
Here he comes.
Did you say 8 Fingers Johnny? He said, no, AIDS Fingers Johnny. He's got 10 of them, and they're all covered with AIDS.
AIDS fingers.
Yeah, man. Another thing that has been something that I've been trying to take comfort in is it really seems that this is a massive lesson in global community.
Well, we'll see.
Well,
and test in global community.
Well, and here's why I say that, and I think it's going to change the world culturally.
For sure.
And I think for the positive is everyone's getting it. You know, so like anyone who has had any idea that they are exceptional from other humans in any way, it's like, nope. You know, this guy in Italy and this guy in Saudi Arabia and this gal over here in Mexico maybe us, who knows, you know, or, you know, this gay person, this straight person, this trans person, this brown person, this black person. Like, it's like we're all capable of... Even the Irish. But we don't want the Irish. Even the Irish. Yeah.
Even the Irish.
Even the St. Patrick's Day parade is not immune. And I think it's a good thing. And I think it's also going to force people to maybe take a step back and not need to constantly busy themselves. It's like you are being forced to pretty much stay at home. Like, you're being forced to slow down a little bit, and it's like maybe it will cause people to, now maybe I'm extending too much credit to people. It's possible. But I tend to be an optimist where this is concerned, is maybe it'll get people to start thinking, you know, maybe I don't need to work so much. Maybe I could spend more time at home with my family, or
True.
maybe I don't need these things, or, you know, I don't need so many things, or.
I need social interaction, though.
Yeah.
I need it.
No, I hear you.
And where I live, I don't have any neighbors. I live up above the city. I can look over everything.
Where do you live at?
I'm not trying to.
Do you live on the hill? Like, do you just
No.
sit on the hill
Oh, yeah.
in a tent?
Yep. Just watching over the
Just
city.
with the wind blowing?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Kind
No,
of.
where do you live at?
Well, I'm down kind of in the Baker neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you that. And I'm up above on the 4th floor. And it's my buddy's place. I don't know if you ever met him, Asian Eric. I call him Asian Eric. Eric is Asian. He's my buddy.
How would I know him?
He used to hang out like at Three Kings a lot, all the time.
Oh, yeah,
He's
yeah,
really
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
funny. Like he'll piss people off everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
just 'cause
No, I know exactly who you're talking
I
about. He
love
goes by
hanging
Freddie
out.
sometimes
Yep,
too,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
You live with Eric?
No, I don't live with him.
But you live above him.
Yeah, I live. No. He. It's his place, and he is taking care of his grandma in Kentucky.
Oh.
So, but he came to Denver in October, and I went with him and his cousin. We saw Deadmau5 at Red Rocks.
Mhm.
I never thought I'd end up something like that.
How was it?
It was pretty fun, but it was cold. It was 19 degrees.
Oh, it was at Red Rocks
It was
in
at Red
October.
Rocks in October. Yeah,
Yikes.
it was fun. Like that's what I bought this flask for, to go to Red Rocks.
Sneaking it in.
Yeah, just check it out. You don't have to do that little like weird thing.
Oh. You don't have to put a funnel in it or nothing.
Nah. Yeah.
That's great. That's
pretty
perfect
cool.
for Red Rocks, man.
Yeah. So, but anyway, like, I love hanging out with him because it's just chaos. It will.
I always liked him a lot.
Yeah.
I know he has had a tendency to get kicked out of a lot of bars.
Yeah.
and
It's so much fun
get
hanging
people
out with
really
him.
mad at him. But I've always liked him. Like,
Yeah.
I never kicked him out of Kings when he would come in. I would be like, okay, dude, you need
Shout
to.
out to Asian Eric.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for providing me a. I pay him rent. to
Right,
live up
right.
there, and it's a cool spot. It's his place. I've actually played there once. Hot Apostles played there on 4th of July.
Oh, really cool.
Yeah, so there's we're supposed to play on the balcony, but then it started raining, so we played inside. But there's windows all over the room, so you can see fireworks going off all over the city.
That's really cool.
And if I would have lived here like in my 20s, I would have caused so many fucking problems. Because it's like a troublemaker's treehouse, man. You could have so much fun up there, but I'm real calm and I'm not the crazy party.
Yeah, you're not the troublemaker you once were. That was the thing, is you were never like a violent, mean drunk or a troublemaker in a dangerous way. You were
Yeah.
always a troublemaker in a Dennis the Menace kind of way.
Yeah.
Like, for people who don't know, you were almost single-handedly responsible for the loss of parking privileges at the Public Service Credit Union across the street from Three Kings.
Yeah, because we
For like 5 years.
I know. But,
Because of fireworks.
Well, I had all the fireworks and we were having a good old time, and then Shane and Rob Dog showed up, and it's almost like then there was like 3 of me's there, or like, you know, it was like we combined our mischief troublemaking powers, and we're just like
Right.
going nuts. But then I guess they experienced. Sorry, I don't mean to spit everywhere.
Nah, it's fine.
I don't have. Or maybe I do. But they experienced Skatopia too, so maybe that's what it is.
Dude, that was another thing too, is like, that was around the time that we went to Skatopia for the first time, when we kind of brought that mischievousness back with us.
Yep.
And
that changed my life.
yeah, dude.
I became like, I forgot what it was like to be normal after that. Like,
Dude, that turned our band into like Lord of the Flies for a couple summers, man. It was wild. You know, like, and we came back, and it was like that summer. I remember that summer, like, we played a gig at Three Kings, and we had gotten into this back and forth thing with Jim Norris where we were like throwing fireworks at each other. And we like showed up to load in for a gig, and Jim Norris just kicked open the back door and threw like a handful of fireworks at us. And it was like he like pulls up in that Lincoln Continental that he used to have that I bought from him.
Oh yeah.
And he pops the trunk, and it's just full of fireworks.
Oh yeah.
And he was just going around and selling them to everybody. Like I don't know if I could see that happening now.
Probably not.
Like the world
Would that be
has
called
gotten,
the good old days?
Yeah,
Stuff that happened in the good old
10
days.
years ago.
10 years ago.
Man, back in the 2010s, that was a crazy time.
You could say all the offensive words.
Yeah. You could say anything you want. You could throw fireworks at each other. It was great.
But you couldn't. Sorry, you couldn't though. That was just.
We just thought we could.
Yeah, we were corrupted.
Yeah.
Because that's like where at Skatopia, there's that dude. One time, like this dude pulled up in a pickup truck and came up to me. He's like, "Hey man," he's like, "I got beer and fireworks. Do you want to like go cruise around and shoot people with Roman candles?" I was like,
Yeah. Am I dead?
Like, so I got in the trunk and I was like, "You got to turn the radio up, man." And so I'm like bouncing around the back of his trunk, giggling,
Right.
spilling beer all over myself, shooting Roman candles at strangers.
Right. Horribly irresponsible behavior, but like at that time, it just like it seemed like the right thing to do. Do you remember when it was I think the second time we played Skatopia, and we were at our campsite, and Bruce Martin's kid smashed up some girl's, like, because for people who haven't been to Skatopia, they bring cars to smash up and set on fire, right? And it's a ton of fun. And like they like roll them down to the bottom of that big hole in the middle of all the campgrounds, that little like ditch in the middle of all the campgrounds. And they roll them down there, and everybody smashes them up, and they light them on fire, and it's a great time. But Bruce's kid, who I want to say was like 11, 12 years old at the time,
Troublemaker.
smashed up just some random girl's car and like just like broke her windshield and went to it, and like Bruce had to come up and like, you know, take care of the situation. And if I remember correctly, I don't know how it got resolved, but I do know her car, like, she just gave up, and it ended up just getting rolled down to the bottom of the hill.
That sucks.
And set on fire. I mean, I can't imagine.
That could have happened at any of our possessions there, too.
Right.
There is
Dude,
a chance.
Imagine if we showed up and they just decided to roll the van down the hill and light it on fire.
Fucking angry.
And we're just like, what the fuck?
We would have died because we would have turned into psychos and started stabbing all those.
Really mad. Well, I think probably what would have happened
us.
is you would have gotten really mad.
Yeah.
The rest of us would have been mad, but we would have been afraid. But you would have, like, you're pretty fearless. Like, I have to say, you're a pretty fearless person. Like, you don't, like I consider myself a pretty extroverted guy. But, like, I'm not comfortable just going up to strangers at a show and handing them a flyer. You know what I mean? Like, that's uncomfortable for me.
Yeah.
You will go up to literally anyone and be like, hey, there's a show coming up. You should come check it out.
Right,
like,
it's fun.
You're pretty fearless. So I could see if that went down, you getting angry and yelling about it and not caring about the consequences, and the rest of us being like, Tay, we're angry too, but they're going to bury us in the forest if we don't stop. Let's just like cut our losses and get out of here. Yeah. So I think what probably would have ended up happening is you would have gotten mad, and then we would have all gotten killed. And then the tour would have ended.
Right.
And
Somebody would have
like,
gotten away.
Whatever happened to those guys? Like, one person would just be on the side of the highway just covered in gore. And then the credits roll. You know?
Right.
Yeah, man. So, fucking shit.
I got you this too.
What is
That's
this?
bear root.
Oh, cool.
You know, it's
I
good.
know what bear root is.
Yeah, fuck it. And it's great for, so if you're a singer, it's good for that. I gave Aaron in Love Stallion some too. And I was thinking, like, good to give to singers, but also during this time period, it's great for your respiratory system.
Right, dude. Thank you so much.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, I remember, like, one of the things that I used to take on tour a lot, per your recommendation, was like OSHA root.
Oh yeah,
extract,
which is the same thing. Yeah,
right. And your grandfather was the one who introduced introduced you to that?
Well, actually, no. I mean, kind of, yeah. But it was just a thing that was always around.
Right.
He had it. My mom had it. Everybody had bear root for like wintertime when people start getting sick.
Right.
You can make a tea with it, and then you chew on it.
Cool. It smells good too. I like it.
Oh, me too.
Cool, man. Thank you.
It'd
Really
be funny if
appreciate
it was actually little turds that I shaped like bear root just to get you to take away.
Be like, I'm just kidding. That's shit. Gotcha.
Oh.
Never yank a prankster. Ooh. So you were saying that Decatur really isn't doing anything.
Well, because Chris moved away to Ventura, California, where apparently it's chaos there now too. For him.
I mean,
he's the drummer, Chris Howard. He's fucking awesome. You should meet him. He has a podcast called Coffee with Suicide. How the fuck?
Coffee with Suicide, Pixie Dust.
He talks to a lot of people. Coffee After Suicide or something. Fuck, I'm sorry.
No. Look it up, and we'll find out what it is later.
All right.
But so he's moved away.
Yeah.
And then Hot Apostles isn't really doing anything.
Yeah, last show we played was a house party, and it was fucking fun.
Was that the house party you were talking about?
Yeah,
over at Eric's place.
No. This was one a liquor store I delivered to. Really cool, awesome people that work there. They had a house party, and so they needed a band to play.
Right.
So we played, and it was in their basement, and it was so much fun. It was just a good time. And that's the night. Wait, weren't you playing that night too?
It might have been
at the Bluebird or something.
Oh,
so
yeah. We played with Judah at the Bluebird that night.
Oh, Judah, yeah, that band kicks so much ass.
They kick so much ass, dude. It's like
hope they're okay.
Oh yeah, that's right, because they're in Italy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they're on lockdown.
Probably.
You know what I mean? But I mean, like a lot of what I have seen coming out of Italy is, you know, people at first were resistant to it because that's just like, and this is based upon a correspondence that I heard on like Today Explained or something like that on a podcast. But the correspondent that was talking about it was saying that like culturally, Italians kind of have this like I don't give a fuck attitude and don't really like being told what to do and tend to like, what did she say? She described them as line cutters. She's like they just kind of, you know, they don't like being pushed around. They do what they like to do.
Right.
And so at first people were kind of resistant to it, but then once all the numbers started coming in, people started getting really sick. Everybody's cooperating, but everybody is also like have you seen the videos of people like playing music and singing from their balconies and stuff like that?
Yeah.
And like
because they're very social too. They're
super
social.
When
I was in Italy, when I was a kid, it was like all social things that I went to, and everybody was always happy and touching each other and putting their mouths on each other's faces and shit.
Yeah, they kiss each other when they greet each other, and they embrace a lot, and they, you know, and that was another thing. It's like when I went to Three Kings for the show we just did, you know, I'm expecting everybody to be like, stay away, or like the place to be empty, and everybody was just like, it was the opposite.
Right.
Everybody was so happy to see each other.
Yeah.
And it was
giving
giving hugs and high fives.
And a handshake, right? I don't know.
Who knows, dude? I mean, really, from what
shoulders.
Yeah, well, from what I understand is the most infectious time is actually when you're not even showing any symptoms, and the virus sheds in your throat. So it like, you know, if you're like coughing, or like it's coming out of your throat and out of your mouth, and it's getting into other people's throats and mouths and eyes and things like that. So
can't you drink water and wash it down into your stomach acid and kill it? I mean, seriously.
I don't know. I really don't know. That's a good question. Hey, we should probably mention at this point that Tay and I are not experts of any kind. So
we don't know shit.
Yeah,
man.
Take everything that we're saying with a grain of salt, and take everything that you read on social media with a grain of salt, especially because there is a whole economy based around eyeballs and likes and comments
And you're getting to your emotions.
and getting to your emotions, right?
And your fears and
Right.
shit.
And the news has to keep going.
I know, the ratings.
Right. So it's been good to like there's 3 podcast episodes that I listened to that were super helpful. Is Sam Harris did 2 interviews with 2 epidemiology experts that were recent episodes of his podcast, and then Joe Rogan had Michael Osterholm on his show, and that was a really good one.
I think I saw part of a clip of that. That's where he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, he really knows what he's talking about, and so hearing the experts, you're fine. Oh no, he's got it! He's got burping disease.
Oh no!
Oh no! No, but I mean, so like listening to experts talk about it,
Yeah.
you know, they break it down in a way where it's like, you know, this is going to harm a lot of people. This is going to have, you know, negative economic impact. You know, it is going to, people are going to die, but it's not Armageddon.
Right.
Whereas you have these media sources that are just driving up the panic and are causing people to do the panic buying,
right?
You know, are causing people to act irrationally.
So are you stocked up on shit, or
you know
I'm not crazy stocked up, but I get.
So we have, like, first of all, Sarah goes to the store every week.
Yeah.
Because we're fortunate that our overhead is pretty low because she owns our home.
Oh yeah.
And
Fuck
so
yeah.
I'm able to support us off of working at a chicken wing place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's nice. So she stays home anyway, and does the stay-at-home mom thing. And so we stay pretty regularly stocked up anyway.
Yeah.
So we've been okay in that
3
regard.
mouths to feed.
Yeah, 3 mouths to feed, and you know, she's super fucking responsible. So
Yeah.
she's so she's good at that stuff. But then, you know, she is also, you know, understandably concerned.
Right.
And we have a little baby at home, and even though kids seem to be more or less safe,
Yeah.
you know, she doesn't want to take any risks with our little kid. So she ordered delivery, I want to say on Friday, and delivery is out until Wednesday. So Wednesday we'll get a delivery of food and supplies.
Groceries?
Yeah, groceries.
Oh, you get the groceries to your house?
Yeah. I want to.
I was thinking about maybe
Well, but
having
then-
to do that.
Dude, I mean, it's a good thing, but then you have people like my grandma,
Yeah.
who my grandma doesn't even own a computer.
So she wouldn't be able to figure out. Yeah, if it's all technology based.
Well, she doesn't want to.
Right.
Like,
I
the
understand.
closest she got like a jitterbug, you know, those like old people cell phones.
I don't even know what that is.
Dude,
it's
it's
called a
just-
jitterbug.
I don't. It's dude. I'm sure you've seen the late night commercials for it, but it's like she has like an old lady cell phone for people that feel like technology has left them behind.
Right.
And they're like, I don't understand. Like, my grandma's one of those type of ladies. Like, she actually says, like, well, I would do that, but you can't do it unless you have a magic phone. And I just have no interest in learning to do that. I'm like, magic phone, Grandma, come on.
It is magical.
But, but like, so she can't do the pre-order stuff. She can't do the delivery type of thing. She does
Right.
all her own shopping.
Yeah.
And I've talked to both of my grandmas, and they seem like they're okay, all things considered.
Yeah.
I think the hoarding and the panic buying is not something that is necessarily universal. It's just happening at a lot of places, and it's getting a lot of coverage.
Yeah.
And because it's getting a lot of coverage, it's getting more coverage, and it's creating more of it. You know,
The thing I don't understand is why is toilet paper the star of the show?
the star of the show.
You know what I mean?
Well, because when people go into a panic like that,
Yeah.
they think, you know, got to stock up on toilet paper, and I got to stock up on water. Sarah was telling me about a friend of hers from work
Yeah.
where she got into an altercation with a grown man. This is a 20-something-year-old woman
Yeah.
who got into an altercation with a grown man over a case of water.
Fucking children.
Yeah, dude. And I'm like, I'm listening to this going, man, you realize you can still drink the tap water.
Right,
like,
right.
Like they haven't shut off the water. And people are, have you seen the lines for people going to get guns?
Oh my fucking God, are you serious?
Yeah, dude. Like there are people that are like, I gotta get a gun because it's about to turn fucking Mad Max, and
That's
it's like
scary, man.
Well, Sarah's like, well, it's kind of like with the hurricane with the looters. I'm like, nobody's coming looting.
But
Nobody's gonna come break into your house for water or toilet paper. Society has not collapsed.
Right.
In fact, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, which is, you know, it is a good sign that we live in a time where we have science and technology, and we are able to go, there's a thing that could really harm us.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take some actions as a society to mitigate the negative impact and to let's do some damage control right now. Like 100 years ago, even 50 years ago, even 20 years ago, I think things would be a lot worse than they are right now.
What was my dad telling me about when back in the 70s something shut down and everything? It was a similar situation, but it had nothing to do with like a disease. It was fuck was it? Something happened.
Right.
And it was like 2 weeks of everything being closed. I can't remember what he was telling me about.
Well, I mean, you know, there have been all kinds of different events throughout history. You know, there was the rolling blackouts in New York. You know, there have been other concerns about, you know, pandemics, you know, outbreaks and things like that. It hasn't gotten to this level. You know, this is a novel experience because
it's kind of like we're I mean, not lucky, but like we're living through an interesting time in history,
right?
In humans' history, you know.
It is really cool. At the very least, because look, man, there are things about it that are gonna suck no matter what.
Yeah.
So like compounding the suckiness is only gonna make it suck more.
Right.
So I keep trying to look for these things that are like really cool about it, or like exciting or interesting, or and one of the things about it is like that term unprecedented. You know, like this is an unprecedented event in human history. Like it was enough that it shut down sports.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fucking NBA shut down. It's enough that it like shut down every concert. You know what I mean?
Bar and restaurant. Probably. Is that just Denver? Or is that?
I think it varies from state to state.
Oh yeah, like Ohio and Chicago as a city.
But one's following the next. You know what I mean?
Oh, you talked to them? Well, of course you have.
I talked to Tony right before we got on here. He was at work, so he had to drop out. Tony is, Tony's worried.
Yeah.
Laura works for a bank, and so she's
good. He's doing electrician stuff, and
yeah, I mean he'll have work because he's an electrician,
right?
And they're gonna need electricians no matter what.
Fucking
A, yeah. So that's a good thing. So he's gonna be able to keep working, but like
Laura's at
Laura's gonna be out of work, and
really, is her bank are banks closed?
I don't know. I really don't know. Our conversation got kind of cut short because he was at work and had to get back to it.
Oh, right on.
But
Damien works in service industry.
Yeah, I mean, I assume that Damien's not going to be able to work. But here's the other thing too: is like, Sarah talked to a friend of hers who lives in New York, who's kind of a younger gal, and kind of a socialite, and is involved in like the club scene out there and like the social scene in New York, which is a whole different universe.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, it sounds super fun. But for a lot of these places, it hasn't even slowed down.
No shit.
You know, people are still going out, like
in New York City?
In New York City and in Chicago, and like to the point where, you know, the government has had to step in and go, hey, seriously, stop going out. Stop now. Stop doing it.
I don't know how I'm going to do this. Shit.
No, I mean, but here's the thing, is the sooner that we start practicing the social distancing thing, the sooner we do what we can to flatten the curve, to spread things out, the sooner we can go back to normal.
Yeah.
It's like the more that we overload the health care system, the more that the greater that the surge is in an infection,
Right.
the longer this is all going to go on and the more damage it's going to do.
Yeah.
So it's just like everybody just take a breath and just like yes, things are going to be very shitty, and I'm very fortunate in that I have resources and support to allow me to still keep my head above water for the most part.
There's a lot of people that aren't very fortunate.
No, I'm very privileged in that way, and I fully acknowledge that. But on average, as a species, as a society, it is in our best interest to do what we can to kind of like slow this whole thing down and try and like help society recoup.
I know.
You know, I really hope that the powers that be, you know, meet up with us on it, you know, and I'm not going to hold my breath. I'm not going to hold my breath. I was saying this morning, I was like, man, you know, I'm no fan of Trump. I don't think that's any secret. But he, like, has this opportunity to, like, be a hero.
You will have saved the lives of
millions of registered voters. Totally, dude. Like, he has this opportunity to, like, you could save them. Maybe if we're wrong, we'll go to jail peacefully, quietly. We'll enjoy it. No, but he has this opportunity to be a hero.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
we'll see.
There's a part of me that really hopes that in his ever strategic mindset, you know what I mean? He goes, this could really work out in my favor, you know? And I hope he does the right thing.
Yeah,
You know
seriously.
what I mean? Does something to help people out. The other thing that I thought was really cool is out of, like, first of all, our governor, I think
Polis?
Polis has been doing a great job.
Yeah.
From what I have
voted
observed,
for him.
yeah, he seems on top of it.
Yeah.
You know,
I know there's people that don't like him, but I don't know.
Yeah, but people don't like politicians, man.
Yeah.
For everyone who likes a politician, there's people that don't like a politician.
Right.
You know? They're like, I hate that guy. Why? Because he's on the other team than the team that I'm on. Yeah. He's a communist, or he's a socialist, or he's whatever.
He's gonna force us all to be gay.
Yeah. Dude, actually, when the day they announced that he got elected, because I met him once.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we did a gig, and I've mentioned this a couple times on the podcast, so sorry if I'm repeating myself, everybody, but we did this gig at the Four Seasons.
I haven't heard it.
We did this gig at the Four Seasons where he got hired for a private party, and the guy who threw it was like a big oil and gas guy. He was a super nice dude,
Yeah.
but he was a retired oil and gas CEO. And Jared Polis was at his birthday party, and I got introduced to him, and we exchanged a few words. He was a super nice guy, and then he took off probably because he didn't want to get his picture taken with a guy that was dressed up like Satan at an oil tycoon's birthday party.
You should have stood next to him the whole time,
dude. I tried to get a picture, but he bailed really fast.
Wow.
But he was just a really nice guy, you know. And then when he got elected, all of a sudden it comes out, Colorado elects their first, Jewish and openly gay governor. And I'm like, I had no idea. I
didn't know that either.
I just thought he was a nice guy.
Yeah.
And then that came out, and I'm like,
well,
cool.
He's nice because he's Jewish and gay.
That's the only reason that he's nice. No, and I mean, it was, so then that was just kind of like, oh, that's cool too, and people are hitting me up, and they're like, hey, man, congrats. Colorado is really doing some great things. And it's like,
what do you mean?
Just because they elected a gay and Jewish guy?
Yeah, that don't
or
mean
because
shit.
because they elected a good person.
Right. That's what
That's
all it fucking boils down to. Yeah.
I mean, I voted for him too, but I voted for him just because I met him and I thought he was a nice guy.
Right.
And I kept an eye on his commentary on some policies, and I was like, okay, he seems like he has his head in the right place.
Yeah.
I'm gonna vote for him. And then it came out, and it's like there was people who were like, that was what was great about electing him, not the fact that, like, what if like Hitler was reincarnated as like like a gay Jewish vegan dude. You know what I mean? And people were just like, you know, Colorado elects their first gay Jewish vegan chancellor, and you know, it's like, but he's still Hitler. You know what I mean? Like,
wait. So why is it Hitler that gets reincarnated?
Because my point is that like that's not what's awesome about it.
Oh, right. So if he had like the mustache and everything, and it's just like, but he's.
Yeah, but like people would be like all excited about that,
And he's a Coloradan.
and you're like, well, yeah, he's a Coloradan, and he's vegan, and he's gay, and he's Jewish, but dude, something about this guy's policies just don't sit right with me. And
right.
Like, you know.
Oh, shit.
Anyway, like I was saying, I think Polis is doing a great job.
Yeah.
You know, he seems to be on top of it. I haven't really been paying much attention to the mayor. I don't know. I know a lot of people aren't a fan of our mayor, so
He's gonna have my ass. The mayor's gonna have my ass. That's all I know about the mayor.
that he's gonna have my ass.
That's like the classic thing you're supposed to say. If you're
All I know is that the mayor's been up my ass.
the mayor's been up my ass about this. I gotta pee real quick.
Yeah, no, that's
Is
cool.
that cool?
Yeah,
I
no,
can pee?
I'm gonna take a moment then to give a shout out to our sponsors.
Okay,
Go ahead
cool.
and take a leak.
And you can play with the fart thing and the slingshot or whatever. Have fun. I'll be
All
right
right.
back.
Tay's gonna go take a leak, and I'm gonna
pee.
give a quick shout out to our sponsors.
Funny if I had a microphone attached to me so you could hear me while I pee.
Oh, I got a story about that later.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. First and foremost, our most venerable, nay, venereal sponsor, Matula Plumbing. Matula! Shit rolls downhill. Don't be at the bottom. Your number 2 is our number 1 priority. Your shit is our bread and butter. Angie's List Super Service Award winner back in 2011. 1-1 is the only one that matters. He'll wear the booties for you. Jerry Matula. Also, stay tuned. You may have seen us post earlier this week. We are working on a limited edition authorized Matula Plumbing shirt designed by Jerry Matula. We talked to Jerry Matula a couple weeks ago, and he gave us his blessing to make the Matula Plumbing shirts. So we're going to do that here soon, and we're really excited about it. If you're in the Des Plaines, Illinois area, and you need your shit piped, hit up our man, Jerry Matula. Mutiny Information Cafe, 2 South Broadway in the heart of Denver, Colorado, up there at Broadway and Ellsworth. Mutiny is everything. Books, records, coffee, live events, cereal bar. We actually just got to have Balls of Steel used in a new ad for their cereal bar and their pinball machines. Oh, they have pinball machines too. They also have a media service division of which we are part. This is a Mutiny transmission, and they just do everything. And they are the cultural heart of Denver. So go on down there, check them out, and tell Jim and Matt that the boys sent you.
Mutiny?
The Nug Nation Studios here at an undisclosed location in the Rhino District of Denver. Man, we're going to have some cool stuff coming down the pike here real soon that we're really excited about. Tay got to take the tour. What'd you think of the Nug Nation stuff?
Fucking awesome.
It's really cool, man. We're doing some really fun stuff over here.
East Side.
Let's see. What else? See all the Nugs and their wacky adventures and all the other stuff that we're turning out here at the Nug Nation Studios. Flipside Music, just off of Coma Street, down there in, what do you call it? I call it the Rock Block over there on Acoma.
Because it's like a one-stop shop.
Dude,
for
it's
everything
nice
you
because
need.
you've got Flipside.
Willie's got Andrew's got the thing.
Yeah, the blackout screen printing's over there. There's also an embroidery shop, then we actually used the rehearsal space over there because RocketSpace was booked up.
Oh no shit!
It's like SRS Studios or something.
And then there's the Keep.
Oh yeah, the Keep's right over
recording
there
studio.
too. Yep,
which is pretty badass.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man.
Recorded a song there once.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
How'd you like it?
It was fun, man. We were working with Nick.
Nick Sullivan's great, man.
Yeah, it was so much fun. It was easy.
Yeah,
There's nothing to it.
He's a lot of fun, man. Let me see. Flipside Flipside music, everything you want. None of the stuff you don't. The largest selection of effects pedals in the region, and their little jam room is great to try out some of their different products. It's a really good place. Stop by and tell Ike the boys sent you.
Ike.
RocketSpace Rehearsal Studios, the official rehearsal space of motherfucking Ruckus, and a whole shitload of other bands here in town. I haven't heard anything if they're shutting down or not. I assume that they're still allowing people to conduct rehearsals. I don't know. You'd have to look into that.
I was just there because I've been.
Yeah, you've done a ton of work for them, haven't you?
Well, I did that one wall, but I was walking because I walked here, because I'm an adventure artist.
Right.
But so I walked here and I had to pee so bad. I gotta pee a lot, but because I've been drinking so much water and coffee.
Yeah.
But so I walked there and I was like, oh, RocketSpace, I'm gonna go in there, and Kate was in there, so I was like, what's up, Kate? And actually, she gave me a ride the rest of the way here.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I had Kate on the show, man. It was one of our most popular episodes. People really loved it.
Oh, no shit. Yeah, that she was telling me like 6 months ago or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Right.
You've had a lot of people in here,
dude. It's been great, man. This is our 98th episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're getting ready to hit 100 episodes here in a couple weeks.
Jimmy was telling me he started listening to him a lot. All the people he knows.
Oh really?
So, yeah, he'll probably listen to this.
Oh, Jimmy Fannin.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I talked to him. I talked to him at the White Fudge show, and he said he's been binging on the show, man.
Yeah,
I was like,
totally.
No fucking way. That's great. No, so Jimmy Fannin, if you're listening, watching, shout out to you, my man. And big shout out to RocketSpace Rehearsal Studios. Evergroove Studio in Evergreen, Colorado. It is our official recording studio. We just got done recording a bunch of stuff up there. Any of you bands, I want to mention this. Anybody who's had a show canceled should definitely hit them up. They have a state-of-the-art live streaming broadcast studio set up by Ethan Klein, who helps us with our live streams from QSC. Ethan couldn't be here today, so we're doing it on the Mevo. But some of the fancier streams that you have seen us do, that is all thanks to Ethan Klein up there at Evergroove. Really, really, truly fantastic stuff. Go to evergroove.com. Hit up Brad and Jenny and Ethan and the whole crew and see about getting in there. It's a really cool thing to do, man.
Hell yeah.
And then last but most, I want to give a shout out to the people who back us on patreon.com/MF Ruckus. You guys make the goddamn world go round. We would not be able to do what we do if it weren't for you. With your small recurrent monthly contribution, we are able to fly Tony in and out. We're able to pay for recording sessions. We're able to pay for our ads to promote our shows. We're able to get merch printed. Yeah, man. Yeah, dude, you should think about getting a Patreon together. Seriously, it's cool, man.
I've been hearing about it.
Like, so basically, what we have set up is, what most people do is you come in at whatever pledge level you want. So we have a few people that are at higher levels, but most people are kind of at the like lower $1 to $5 level for monthly contribution, and then they get access to exclusive content, early content, like when we get new mixes or something, or we do a new demo,
rad.
We give it to them. We show them the comic as we put it out.
Yeah.
We share everything with our patrons, and I think that even if we didn't,
Patreon patrons,
they would still be cool with it.
Yeah.
Because most of the feedback that I've gotten is, we like what you guys do and want to help you out.
Fucking A, yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. So I recommend it to anybody who is out there creating shit.
Yeah.
Seriously, thank you so much. And even if you're not necessarily into what we do, there are a ton of great creators on Patreon. So go to patreon.com and check out your favorite creators. Okay, cool. And that is the sponsor shout-out section of the show.
Cool. That was fucking boring.
Oh, God. So
let's talk about
boring.
something different now.
Let's talk about what I want to talk about.
This is boring.
I'm really bored talking about the fucking stupid pandemic.
Yeah.
So,
I guess you have to talk about it.
No,
Everybody,
you do. And
it sucks for all of our friends that aren't going to be able to bartend and work at restaurants and shit like that. I feel bad for all them because
I talked to Logan today. He's out of work until May 11th.
Is you Goosetown?
Yeah, he's out of work till May 11th, and that's the thing
is Ty still doing delivery work?
Yeah, Ty's still at work for now. You know, and that's the really hard thing, man. Is I'm fortunate in my job that because we do takeout, I'll still be able to go to work.
Yeah.
But our friends who are bartenders,
I owe them all shots.
Yeah.
I'm saying this right now, but I feel like all our bartender friends, I need to get them shots.
Yeah.
They have all kept me nice and buzzed.
Well, not only that, with a lot of those places, if you file for unemployment because you get cash tips as such a big part of your income, if you file for unemployment, you're still, I could be wrong about this, but I think they're only going to get 60% of their hourly. I don't know if they get supported for their tipped income.
Right.
I don't know. And I had mentioned earlier,
hourly is a lot lower.
Oh, dude, it's really low. Like, especially in, some places in the South, server minimum wage is like $3 and some change or something like that. You know what I mean? So they're getting hurt. There are resources out there, from what I understand. There's a lot of people who are trying to raise money to help offset the impact to the service community, because a lot of people in the service community are getting hit really, really hard. So anybody out there who's watching or listening, if you know of any great resources to help people out who are in the service industry, please share those in the comments. Please share them around. If you see a petition, sign it, because those people are really hurting, man. And we need to look out for them. And if you are going to a place where people are still open, which,
tonight's the night, man.
Dude,
I'm going to go to Tui's tonight. I want to stop by there because I know that they're going to close soon.
This is the fucked up thing, is like they have to keep working.
Yeah.
And because they have to keep working, they're at greater risk for exposure.
Oh, and then there's that too.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like they should be able to go home and wait it out with the rest of us,
right,
without having to worry about some drunk guy coming in and coughing into the back of their throat. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
or fucking AIDS Fingers Johnny.
Or AIDS Fingers Johnny coming
down
in
the chimney.
Damn it, he got me in the nose again.
AIDS Fingers Johnny.
You're incorrigible. No, seriously, any help that you can give to our friends and family in the service community, bartenders and service staff, especially, like people with tip jobs. That was another thing that I was mentioning when I started talking about Polis, is I also really liked Bernie's address. Like, Bernie just did an address on the coronavirus, and
after the debate or whatever?
It was before the debate.
Oh, okay.
I didn't actually see the debate. I was working.
I didn't, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I plan to go back and watch it, but before that, he gave an address to the nation, live streamed an address to the nation, and
I'll watch it,
dude, and it was the most presidential thing I've seen anybody say yet. You know what I mean? Like, he was just like, this is the problem. This is what needs to be done about it. Like, we need to take care of our people. We need to make sure
working class Americans.
We need to make sure that working class Americans have health care for all, Medicare for all.
Medicare for all.
We need to make sure. And he actually he mentioned
Bernie.
Service people. He was like our bartenders and our servers and our tipped employees. We need to make sure that they're taken care of too.
Strip clubs are closing. That means strippers too.
Yeah, dude, that's no joke.
Yeah, seriously.
What are they gonna do? I guess webcams. You could do a webcam thing.
They got to figure out the whole computer thing. If they already know, that's that. If I was a stripper, I'd be like,
I don't know how to work this technology.
God damn it!
So
shit.
So then that's another question that I have for you is, what are your thoughts on all the live stream stuff that bands have been putting out?
I think it's. I don't know, because I think it's cool. And I want to do stuff like that. Like, I want to start
Right.
having more people come over to my house and playing a guitar and just doing fun shit like that
Yeah.
and recording it, like creating backing tracks, and then just have like a little cool thing we invent.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Because it's fun. And
Yeah.
like, if you make it goofy, people get a laugh out of it. And
Right.
that's, you know.
I wonder
whole
if, like, I think it's cool that more and more people are experimenting it now because of that. Because
Yeah. So live stream, you mean like Facebook? I gotta learn all this shit.
like right now we're on this Mevo camera, right? And we are streaming to like 3 different Facebook pages and then Periscope.
Can I look at it? Like
yeah,
right
you
now
can.
as it's happening?
Yeah, you can. You can look it up right now.
On
and
Facebook or something?
yeah, if you go to the MF Ruckus Facebook page,
Oh, real quick. Coffee Over Suicide.
Coffee Over Suicide
Yeah.
is the name of that podcast.
Yeah, and it's Chris Howard. And
Cool.
he is awesome musician, awesome drummer, great singer.
Cool.
He's just such a talented fucking dude.
Cool. Yeah, I'll check it out.
I want to look at it right now.
Yeah. No, you can look at it right now. But like,
did it
so
go?
so like I've got audio running into the Mevo. It would be very easy for us. In fact, I've been thinking about it.
Oh shit, that's me.
Yeah, that's you.
Cool. And that's you. And then there's the Book of Farts.
Yeah, and then, and then there's the Book of Farts.
The Book of Farts.
The Book of Farts. Yeah. So I've been seeing more and more people doing it, and I think it's cool because I wonder if like forcing people to learn that technology is going to cause people to get better and better and better at this, like at the live streaming stuff. You know what I mean? Like we could easily I've got a mixer in there where we could hook mics up to it. We could plug guitars into it. We could plug all sorts of stuff into it, and we could get a group of people in this room, and we could broadcast. You know, not the highest quality live broadcast, but dude, it would be better than anything we would have thought possible
Right.
10, 20 years ago.
I just use my fucking camera phone. I just set it up
Right.
and point it at me. And I have a ladder with gear ties. Oh, actually, if you want a gear tie, you have one too.
What's a gear tie? What is a gear tie? What is this?
It's a gear tie. Fucking badass. Check
So
it
what
out.
do you use this for?
Whatever you want. It's a gear tie. It's like a twist tie, but you can hold like cords together with it. You can.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I got my jacket wrapped up in one, so I don't have to. Well,
It's cool. Yeah, this is handy.
whoa, see that?
Oh, yeah.
So I can go in.
So it's not licorice.
No, well, they taste good too, though. I eat them sometimes. I got one on my
Dude,
boot.
seriously, can I have this?
Fuck yeah! Happy
cool.
birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got.
I got you a gear tie and a fart book and a G.I. Joe.
Well,
Dude,
a
this is
Cobra.
the best. Wow.
Yeah.
He's not a G.I. Joe. He's a Cobra. But Cobras are cooler anyway.
I agree. They're kind of like the Raiders, though. Everybody hates them.
Dude, one of my favorite Cobra dudes was, who is the ninja dude he was a Cobra and then he became a Joe?
Was that Snake Eyes?
Snake Eyes.
Yeah.
It was Snake Eyes. He was a bad guy and then he became a good guy.
I didn't know he was a bad guy.
I think he was a bad guy.
Because there's Storm Shadow that also is like.
Maybe I'm thinking of Storm Shadow.
Fuck, I don't remember.
Hey, anybody who's watching and knows who the bad guy turned good guy was in G.I. Joe,
And
please post it in the comments because we really want to know.
Right, this is actually pretty important.
So if you could get around to that like immediately,
Right
it'd be great.
now.
Right now. No, but I forgot what the fuck I was saying.
G.I. Joes.
Oh, dude, we were talking about G.I. Joes. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't that long
It
ago.
was like a really cool conversation.
Hey, are we gonna smoke that joint or? You're like looking at the flask of mezcal and looking at the joint and like doing math in your head.
How about I give it to you for your birthday?
Oh,
want
aren't
it.
you sweet?
I'm
I
good,
got a
though.
joint. I got a G.I. Joe. I got some bear root. I got a book of farts. I got a gear tie. I love that you're just like pulling stuff out of your backpack and going, here, take this.
Yeah, I got all kinds of cool stuff. I got
Have
some
this, too.
pens. I got some pens.
So about the live streaming thing. So I saw our friend Bart McCrory.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because he does his thing.
Yeah,
too.
he does his thing, and he posted something today that was like, you know, getting feedback from people that was just like, So like, hey, what do you think about the bands that are doing live streams? Do you think it's cool or do you think it's annoying? And a lot of people are like, no, I would love to see you put some stuff out. I think it's really cool. I think it's a great way to deal with the cabin fever and blah, blah, blah. And like all this like great, really encouraging stuff. And then this one lady just posted a one-word comment that just said, annoying. And I saw that and I was just like, I commented back. I commented to Bart and I was like, man, you know what? If people want to tap on it and enjoy themselves, that's awesome.
Right.
And if they don't, they can have a Coke and a smile and fucking scroll on,
yeah,
dude.
just keep going.
Jesus Christ.
How does
it's annoying.
How does something crossing your vision be annoying?
Right,
How
right.
is that enough to?
And if it's
It's an eyesore.
like I have used the unfollow button a few times, but it's not because people are putting content out. It's because they say annoying things.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
They post something that's like really shrill and obnoxious and soapboxy and opinionated or mean or nasty or just something that just fucking yucks my yum in some way, you know?
Yucks my yum.
Dude, you know Joaquin Liebert?
Yeah.
Yeah, he taught me that. He's like the term I've been teaching my kids is don't yuck my yum.
Don't yuck my yum.
Dude, I love that shit.
Yuck my yum.
Like I heard that and I was like, that is fucking perfect. If I see anybody yucking anybody's yum, I automatically unfollow you. I'm just like, I don't want to see it.
Yucking
It's like,
my yum.
I hear enough shit talk in daily life. I just want to see videos of cool bands playing or see pictures of people's cats or kids or dogs or see shows that are coming up or explosions, you know, funny shit, memes, things like that. But I don't want someone's uninformed political opinion or
sometimes even informed.
Yeah, sometimes informed opinions. It's just like, okay, we get it. Can we get something new from you, please? It's the same thing.
It's all a big deal, but I feel like it's been this way for so long.
Well, and you can only focus on so many things.
Right.
And if I want to get news about what's going on in the world, there are news sources that I can check.
Right.
They're like trusted news sources, or I can get information from some sort of public intellectual. But I don't. There's only so many times you can hear someone screaming, "Trump's an asshole." You know, it's like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's like, and water's wet. What else?
Right.
What else? You know,
Yeah.
I snooze that shit, man.
When I got into it in 2016, I was like trying to be more involved in learning about how to caucus and all that because I had to go to a caucus. Everybody did, I think.
Right.
And then after that, I was just like, ugh. That made me tired, and I go to all these like political events, and no offense to anybody, but sometimes I don't like going to those things because the mood is not my mood. It yucks
it's
my yum, man.
Yeah, it is a little exhausting.
Because I'm a social person in a happy way, but if I'm around a bunch of serious people that are like, ugh, I'm like, I get it, we're all here, but come on, man, we're all.
It's also very intense. We should be happy. Very it's very binary, you know, in the sense that it's like we're all together because we agree on this one thing. And it's like, well, what if I have a little bit of I believe mostly the same things you do.
But I don't think I want to hang out with you.
Except for this one point. It's like, then you're one of them.
Right.
You're the fucking enemy.
Get him.
Dude, that was one thing that I thought was like really interesting during the primaries is I was watching or tracking them live. Yeah. You know, and just like looking at the graphs on Super Tuesday.
You mean back in 2016?
No,
right now this year?
This year during Super Tuesday. And like you on like the Google search, you can swipe back and forth and see how the Republican primary is going and how the Democratic primary is going. Uh-huh. And you look over at the Republican primary on the right, and all the delegates, except for save like a few, are all for Trump. Right. It's like he's just winning everything, right?
Yeah, he's the star of the show.
And then you look over at the Democratic primary, and it's like these many people for Biden and these many people for Bernie, and then it's just like, well, I don't like them. I like this person, and I don't like them. I like this person. I like this person.
Is
I
there
like
still
this
other
person.
people?
I like this. No, not anymore.
two of 'em.
But they are trying to get like Tulsi Gabbard is
I think
trying
she's
to get.
such a badass.
She's
man.
such
She's
a
so
badass,
cool.
dude. She's the one. Like I like Bernie and everything,
Yeah.
but like if I had my number one pick, it would have been Tulsi.
Yeah, me
And
too.
so at this point, she's just trying to get involved in the debates, but she got pushed out of the debates. She didn't qualify for it. But you like look over on that side, and because the left, the progressives are, those tend to be the people who are more about questioning hierarchies and more about creating new ideas and more, and both sides need each other. You know, one of them's
the progressive side or just the left.
well, just so
the establishment left.
The left in general is supposed to be like new ideas and innovation and creativity and kind of breaking the molds and things like that.
Like you mean just the left or like Democrats?
The left,
Okay.
just kind of the political left.
Okay.
And then the political right is more structure, hierarchy, order, you know, systems,
But less
protocols, things
government.
things like that, right? So they need each other
Yeah.
because, you know, we have to have systems, we have to have things that operate, we have to have, you know, we need bureaucracy to a certain degree, and we also need systems disrupted from time to time. We need hierarchies to be broken down and reconstructed. We need, you know, the dispossessed kind of stack up on the bottom, and so we need to
Yeah.
do things to kind of make it right. So they kind of, I think of it like rudders on a ship. You know what I mean? You have these extreme edges of the political spectrum that kind of steer the ship that is the rest of us, that steers society. You know what I mean?
This way, a little bit that way.
Yeah, and so they play off each other. But the thing that I noticed is just how fractured the left is, you know, and especially during the primaries, it's because, you know, I like this person, and well, I like this person, and
like,
I'm
how
gonna
many
think
of
for
them
myself, and and
at
it's
the
just all,
beginning?
it's split up all over the place. But you look over on the right, and it's like we're all gonna get behind the one guy.
Yeah. Well,
That's the guy we're going for.
Well, I looked at all the names on the ballot. There was more. One of them was named Joe Walsh.
Yeah, there was a Joe Walsh. Yeah. I mean, and there was a few of them.
It's not Joe Walsh though.
No, it wasn't the Joe Walsh.
I would have had to.
Did I ever tell you Tony met him?
Yeah.
It was pretty cool,
I
man.
think Tony told me that.
He looked like a homeless guy. And he was super friendly. And,
Really?
and oh, dude, and Tony totally Byroned out on him. Like
Really?
he's like, man, you're Joe Walsh. Man, I gotta get picked. My bandmates aren't gonna believe this, man.
Yeah, that's
like,
badass.
dude, and I guess he was really nice, and he was like, you know, hey,
Love
good luck
to
on
hang
your
out with Joe
career,
Walsh.
and dude, fuck
He's
yeah,
so cool.
How did he end up in the I like the Eagles, but how did Joe Walsh end up in the Eagles?
No, he's definitely the coolest one. And if
Is-
there's anything like dangerous and badass about the Eagles, it's just Joe Walsh.
He was the coolest guy in the Eagles for sure.
What's that you're smoking?
This is a Pax pen, and I think what I've got in there right now is
Paxton.
It's a hybrid butter from the clinic, the lab.
Oh, can I try it?
Yeah, if you want
Just
to.
a little tiny.
Yeah, how about I've got it set to 1, so it doesn't hit super harsh, but like 1 should be enough because that
I
is
just wanna
like
taste it.
yeah, it tastes really good, and it's just that is pretty strong. Yeah, man. One thing that has been really nice about working at a number one about side hustling in the cannabis industry and side hustling here at the Nug Nation, which is also in the cannabis industry.
Yeah.
And then working at kind of a hippie wing joint is I'm around a lot of people who are in the weed biz, and I get to, learn a lot about that stuff.
Right.
And I got a coworker who works for the clinic, and so, he knows everything about this kind of stuff. And around Christmas time, he hooked me up with a bunch of pods for the Pax pen and things
cool.
like that. And they're great, man.
Do you think the cannabis industry is going to stay going good?
I was talking about that today with Mike.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned earlier, the prediction that we both had is that the cannabis industry is probably going to thrive.
Yeah.
Simply because people are going to be stuck at home. And so,
Yeah.
like, Netflix and chill is going to be...
Hopefully more people get creative. That's what I'm going to do.
Right.
I want people to be like, I want new bands to be formed when this
Right,
all ends.
right.
You know, and whole albums written.
Right. And that's kind of what I'm hoping for, too, you know, we figure out ways to stay connected and also create together. And
Yeah.
we have the technology to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like how you guys are recording.
It's
Yeah.
super fun, man.
Doing similar shit. Also, like, me and Rocky are doing some stuff too, and
That's really cool.
yeah, we kind of it's crazy because we can just use the Google Drive. Like, and she's really busy, and I've been really busy too. So like, we can kind of connect on there and just throw our ideas, dump our ideas into a bucket, you know?
Yeah, totally. And like sharing, I had Dave Sanchez on the show.
Yeah.
And they do Havoc does a little bit more of an advanced thing. They use a version of Pro Tools that is specifically made for like sharing in the cloud, sharing projects in the cloud.
Really?
So they do that. But then
it's not Pro Tools, it's something else.
it's a different version of Pro Tools.
Okay.
I can't remember what it's called, or it's like a plugin for Pro Tools or something like
I
that.
know absolutely nothing about most stuff.
Well, check it out. You've got an iPhone, right?
Yeah, and I use GarageBand for everything.
So-
on a computer, not on the phone.
So with GarageBand,
Yeah.
both for the Mac OS and for iOS,
Yeah.
you can share projects. The really cool thing is with the iOS version, you can share projects, and if
Yeah.
other people update it,
Yeah.
it automatically populates on the same project. So like
Okay.
Tony records a guitar part,
Yeah.
records it to a click, sends it to the group.
Mm-hmm.
Ty then goes home, and we've got one mic
Uh-huh.
hooked up to an iPhone with iOS on it. He opens up the project. He goes in, hooks up headphones. We've got this interface.
Yeah.
It's a Focusrite interface that is specifically designed to plug into an iPhone or an iPad.
Uh-huh.
Ty plugs that in. Like I said, one mic, and it's not even that good of a mic.
Overhead.
No, he just sets it in the middle of the room.
No shit.
Yeah, pointing right,
And
like
he does
kind
like
of
a drum
center.
track.
Yeah, and he does a drum track.
And then you can EQ and you can fuck around with the sound and kind of clean it up a little bit.
Dude, we just went into the studio, and we were able to get drums tracked for 17 songs.
I was talking to Ty the other night.
Yeah.
So he told me about that.
And we would not have been able to do that if it weren't for the way we used technology from a distance.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we got all these demos laid out,
Yeah.
and then Tony took those and made maps for everything. And, you know, just so, like, intro, verse, chorus, chorus, right? You know, made song maps for everything.
Yeah.
And then we took all that info and we created a Google spreadsheet, which then Brad up at Evergroove cleaned up for us and made look better.
Uh-huh.
And basically, if you look at our Google spreadsheet, which you can see if you look at the live stream we did from Evergroove, there's a screen share somewhere in it where you can see what our spreadsheet looks like. But it's got a giant graph of all the stuff that needs to be done, and it's all in red. And then the job is to just turn every cell green. You know,
okay.
Drums for this song, done, green. Drums for this song, done,
That's
green.
a great way of doing that. I got to learn more about that.
Dude,
'cause that sounds great.
I'll show you. It was super easy.
Because I'm a mess. Like, my notebooks and my drives are just ideas piled upon ideas.
Right.
No organization
Right,
at all.
right. And I was the same way. And what happened is I had to figure out a way to do it in order to keep my band together.
Right.
Because
If everybody's living in a different place.
Ty lives in Castle Rock. He's got two kids and a
that's
full-time job. You know, Logan's got a night job, so
Right.
he's almost always working at night. And he's married, and he lives in Globeville. And
Oh, he lives in Globeville now?
yeah, he does.
No shit.
Or actually, Commerce City is where Logan lives. He lives in
I
Commerce
thought
City.
He still lived on Humboldt there.
No. He's in Commerce City now. He and Becky bought a place.
Cool.
But then Tony's in Chicago,
Right.
and and I got a kid.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of time for
Ransom.
Tony. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Ram Jammer. He's
yeah.
good, man. He's
Yeah?
good. He's really good. He's man, getting the opportunity to stay home with him when he was first born,
Yeah.
and the fact that Sarah gets to stay home with him, and the fact that he is not just dropped off in daycare every day, and the fact that, like, just basically the fact that he has been around us and gets his needs taken care of, it makes him just such a happy kid.
Hell yeah.
Like, he's super happy, and he's thriving. He's great, man.
Fuck yeah.
The best thing I've ever done with my life.
Yeah.
Like, coming home and, like, you know, I come home at the end of a long day, and Sarah goes, "Papa's home," and I open up the door, and he comes, like, crawling to me with a giant smile on his face. That is, like, the fucking coolest thing, man. And I've said it before, my only regret is that I didn't have him sooner, but had I had him sooner, it wouldn't have been him.
Right.
So it happened exactly when it needed to happen. And, I mean, he's the fucking best, man.
Hell yeah.
But because of that, if we hadn't figured out how to use technology to organize our ideas,
Right.
it would have broke our band up.
Right. You
And I wasn't ready to do that.
Fuck no. You never. Music, if you're a lifer, you just don't fucking stop.
Yeah. You just.
I think we're lifers.
The key to being a lifer is just not stopping.
Right. Always have another gig booked.
Right.
Unless there's everything shut down and
So yeah, man. So how did
Sucks.
you find out about your gig being shut down? They'd send you an email or what?
I'm not sure. Well, so yesterday we had in that band we do like a weekly meeting over the phone because Sabrina now lives in Los Angeles.
Oh, you guys have a weekly meeting. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Over the phone.
That's
and
a
it's
good
like
idea.
Meetups. Meetups talk. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah. No, that's a really good idea.
Yeah. So we
Watch
can-
out, guys. We're gonna start doing that, and it's
What?
gonna be. I was saying to Ty and Logan and Tony.
It's a
like,
great idea.
yeah.
And so whenever we do them, it's fun because I got my phone on, and I usually enter into the conversation with my guitar on and like, I'm like, "What's up, everybody?"
And they're like, "Okay, Tay, we're trying to have a conversation."
Yeah, or I'll start it with, like when I enter the conversation, I'll hear them talk, and I'll just flush the toilet on the phone.
Or they like, Tay has entered the conversation. It's like, hold on, guys, I'm on the rowing machine playing this fish game.
Oh yeah, that shit was fun. I might have to do that again before I go.
You're more than welcome.
But anyway, we talked yesterday, and as of yesterday, we were like, all right, it's still on. We think it's still going to happen.
Right, you got to act as if it's still on.
Exactly, yeah. And then, which sucks, because our last show, actually, the last show we were supposed to play was in Colorado Springs. That got canceled.
What did it get? It got canceled for COVID-19?
No, it was during the blizzard that fucked everything up. And
Where were you supposed to play? Was it Legends? Like Legends
No.
Rock Bar or whatever it is?
The Union Station?
Oh, yeah, Union Station. I didn't
Yeah.
know they were still open.
Union Station. I don't even know if I've ever been there. Is that a place?
I think we played there once, actually,
Did
for
we get
like
in trouble
nobody.
there?
No, but we played there for like nobody.
Oh, I think we got in trouble there. I think we did something that pissed us off. I think we got in
no.
trouble at that place.
Wait,
Something happened there. I can't remember what.
it was
kind of funny and kind of like.
I think you're right. I think that was during a time that we got regularly in trouble for just
Right. That was just normal life, is getting in trouble.
Dude, there was I was thinking about you the other day, and I was thinking about back during our like heyday at Three Kings, when like you and Jerry were in the band, and we would just go there and just hold court and just act like assholes. And I remember hearing a story. I remember hearing a story about someone from some band whose name I won't name.
Yeah.
It had somehow gotten back to you that they really didn't like us.
Yeah.
And the guy from that band, I guess his exact words were, "They're just fucking obnoxious, and they think they're so funny, and they're just rude and inconsiderate to people." And at the time, we were like, "Fuck that guy!" man." But like looking back, it's like, no, he was absolutely right.
Yeah.
We just hung out and wanted everything for free, and threw fireworks at people, and like got into arguments with other bands.
I'm the same person. I just.
No.
I'm
What's
not-
all this was talk? I'm the same person.
Yeah, I still throw fireworks.
Yeah,
Just
people
kidding. I don't.
people just
I
stopped
can't.
fighting me on it.
Right.
God damn.
Like if I wanted to, holy shit! Like being up above the city.
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
much fun with fireworks.
You could throw fireworks at the whole city.
But instead, I can also walk out onto the balcony and, like on 4th of July, I can walk out on the balcony and play the Star Spangled Banner.
Have
to
you
the
done
whole
that?
World. No, I haven't.
You
but
should
I do
do
walk
that.
out on the balcony and play guitar all the time.
Do you remember?
But
This is
when it's
another.
warm.
This is another thing that we couldn't do now.
Huh.
But do you remember when we used to go walking around with your guitar, and we would like busk and try and get extra money, and anytime a pretty girl came walking by, we would go walking after her, and you would play "Pretty Woman" by Roy Orbison at her.
That's a fun song to play.
It is.
I grew up doing that, playing guitar down on 16th Street Mall.
Yeah, man.
I used to go down there like as soon as me and my parents were like, okay, here's a bus. Like I had a bus pass and I could just go.
Right.
I just fucking went exploring Denver, climbing through abandoned buildings, playing guitar on 16th Street Mall for money and shit.
Right.
I was having a good old time.
Yeah. How old were you when you were doing that? That your parents were just like, let's go, explore, go.
Well, I don't think they were like, go explore. I was like, listen, I need to get the fuck out. I can't.
Right. And they're like,
all right.
yeah.
See,
How old were you when you started doing that?
Earlier than I started doing it earlier than I was supposed to.
Right. You've kind of always been like that, though.
Yeah.
Like very like adventurous and independent and
Nomad.
nomadic. Yeah, wanderer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like probably 13 or 14.
Wow.
When I started doing that, and then
And you just told them straight up, you were like, I need to get out of here and go do my own
that's
thing.
what I told my mom. I was like, listen, I'm so curious about the world. I have to get out into it and go check this shit out.
Right.
So that's what I did. Wandered around Denver.
I don't know. Like
You could have homeless people buy you 40s.
Oh yeah.
You know?
I did that shit.
You
Yeah.
could just get into all kinds of weird situations.
Your world gets a lot more easy. Like it gets way easier to manage when you no longer have to ask adults to buy alcohol for you.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, like we still, after we were 21, then it's like, it's kind of boring because then you're just a drunk at a bar or you're just a drunk throwing a house party who can like buy a keg once in a while. But like when you're a teenager, like I think that's almost what creates lifelong alcoholics is when you're a teenager, getting drunk and partying is like a fucking quest, dude.
Right.
It's a hero's journey. Like it's like,
It is.
so we've got to get on a bus. We've got to go downtown.
The only liquor store that'll sell to us.
Yeah, or go find a really, 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 really sketchy person who also happens to be mentally ill and addicted to drugs, and
buy them a drink.
buy him a drink, and give them some money and trust that they won't run off with it. Like it's like sometimes you'd have to chase a guy to get your money back. Sometimes you'd end up having to listen to some.
Fucked over.
Yeah, sometimes you'd have to sit and drink with some dude with PTSD who like spills his guts to you, and you know,
Totally.
like sometimes you end up hiding in a hallway with some mentally ill person. Like there's a lot of fucked up shit that happens.
You did all that stuff too, then.
Oh, dude, God, yes. We had a guy who worked at the video store next door to the liquor store who would buy beer for us.
Oh, okay.
So we would go walk up
What
there.
video store?
It was off of Kipling and,
out that
and
way,
Bellevue,
okay.
like
Yeah.
over by the King Supers over there.
Yeah.
So we had that, but then like, you know, it was an adventure for us to like catch a bus and go down to like Civic Center Park.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Or
From
go
there, for sure.
or go down to like Skyline Park or something like that.
Right.
And then, you know, you're hanging out with homeless maniacs. Homeless alcoholic maniacs.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, come hang out with us. And you're like, man, these homeless alcoholic maniacs really think we're cool. You know,
I learned how to play Life in the Fast Lane from one of them.
Did you really?
Yeah, he had my guitar. He showing me stuff. I'm drinking a 40 with some guy. He was showing me stuff, and then I was like, "Cool, thanks." He's like, "All right, see ya."
He taught you how to. Speaking of Joe Walsh,
yeah,
that's Don Felder though. Don Felder wrote that one. Yeah, Don Felder.
That's a cool little riff.
It's so cool, man.
hard to
Don
play.
Felder and Joe Walsh were like homies in the Eagles, and they would just like do coke and rip on guitars. Like they were the ballsy part of the Eagles, you know. Anyway, that was a segue, but like when you like, I remember one of the last times I had to get an adult to buy alcohol for me was we were living at 1083 Colorado Boulevard.
Yeah, I remember.
And me and Jack Ruddy and someone else walked all the way from 11th and Colorado up to Colfax and walked pretty much from Colfax in Colorado to like Tuies, basically, and walked all the way down there and tried the entire way to get people to buy beer for us.
Oh, you went down to Scooters, or not Scooters, the other one.
Yeah. And I'll see you on the next time, Paul's.
Yeah. Hey, Paul's.
Yeah.
And I'll see you on the next time.
Yeah, so we ended up, like, you know, we would ask this guy, and he'd be like, no, or we'd ask this guy, and he'd be too, we went up and we asked one guy on the street, and he just ended up being a crazy, rambling, drunk person. So Jack, in the middle of a conversation, just goes, yeah, well, by the way, we're cross-country runners, so we need to go now. And we just ran away. We just ran away from this guy.
Oh,
like
shit.
Like this guy's just coming up and rambling to him. He's like, yeah, you ever get your girlfriend home and you put your fingers in her and you're like,
so you were running from annoying.
Yeah, we were running from a guy who was just annoying. We're like, that's not our guy.
This is not fun. Let's go.
And we ended up finding these two guys, and like Jack went with one of them to like go do the buy, and then I ended up having to wait in an alley with the other one. And so I'm like hanging out with this guy, and he's just a fucking giant, and he's like, so what do you do? Where do you go to school or what? Just like talking to me, you know?
What are you what are you supposed to talk about?
Yeah, what are you going to talk about? This guy's all like bloated. And
somebody that has their life ahead of them, and somebody who's clearly fucking
and that didn't enter into my head at the time, where
Right.
I'm like looking at this guy going, maybe I should get my act together.
Right.
But like Jack comes with this guy, and this dude gets physically thrown out of Paul's liquor and tries to say that the guy kicked him in the face. He tried to say that the owner did a karate kick in his face. And so, somehow we got our money back, and we left, and like, dude, and like the clock is ticking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like we're running out of people to run into, and like we run into this like couple, and this guy seriously looked like he was a character out of a blaxploitation movie. Like he had like a giant afro, and he had like a scally cap, and he had bell bottoms and like a little tight striped shirt and like a scarf around his neck. Like I could not make this up.
Fucking awesome.
And then, you know, he and his girlfriend are all super drunk, and like they came up, like somehow we had managed, like we were pretty much at the point that we were giving up, and the guy came up to us, and he was trying to get something from us, like money to go get a beer, and we're like, oh, sorry, man, the liquor stores are closed, and he's like, what? You've got to be jiving me. We only took about 15 minutes eating them ribs. How'd the liquor stores close? God damn it. And he's like getting all upset.
Got to be jiving me.
He seriously said, you got to be jiving me. And then his girlfriend didn't skip a beat. She turned to a homeless guy who was drinking a 40 on the street and went, hey, baby, let me get a drink of that. Like, dude, like, you do not.
You wouldn't do that now.
You don't have those experiences. Yeah, right. Well, and you don't have those experiences when you're an adult and you can buy your own alcohol.
Right. You would just walk by these people that you.
Right. So the lesson here to parents is you should probably just buy alcohol for your kids. Otherwise, they're going to be walking around Colfax trying to get crazy people to buy it for them.
Yeah, you learn something about the world then.
Yeah.
You get to hang out around crazy people all day long.
Hey, I got to take a break now.
You got to pee?
I got to pee. Yeah.
All right.
So,
I got to pee too.
All right, we're gonna take a break. I'm gonna throw the break graphic up, and we'll be right back.
What's the break graphic?
Oh, it's cool, man. It's a guy.
Is it on yet?
No. You'll see. It's where is it? Where are you? The BRB. There we go. Okay. Yeah, you'll see it. It's on. If you look on your phone, you'll see it. We'll be right
We
back.
should talk about how it's a real comfortable room. Also,
comfortable room.
we can roll around on the walls.
We'll do that when we come back. It'll be comfortable. You know, there's a bathroom on the other side, right? Oh, is this not a bathroom? That's a shower. Oh, can I take a shower? Oh, yeah, dude. Like you wouldn't believe. All right, so you can do the comfy rolls, but be careful. Right there, there's a nail sticking
So
in.
you're like this.
Yow!
Yow! Is this still on? Is it rolling?
Yeah. We're still going. We're still going.
Wait, so people had to wait while...
Yeah, but it's also on Facebook, so like people are just kind of like scrolling and stopping for a second and going, "Oh, they're talking about poop. That's funny," and then they move on.
I'm gonna make a comment.
Oh, you're gonna make a comment?
Yeah, it's an offense. I'm gonna make an offensive comment.
What's I'm gonna make an offended comment.
I'm an offended. Stupid liberals.
Dude, we had
This is right now. Cool.
We had so I answered the Yelp reviews at work, and you know, I work at a hippie liberal wing joint.
Yeah.
And we had someone who like posted a Yelp review that was like, the chicken wings are okay, but I just have to say, I mean, we get politics rubbed in our face around every corner. Why do you have to go to a place that has little hand-drawn signs everywhere telling you not to use straws and pictures of Bernie Sanders and blah, 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 blah. I guess if you like liberal chicken wings, this is the place to go. It's like, wow, dude.
I wonder if you've noticed all that shit about the
dude,
place.
Dude, we have one sign up that just says we're a straw-free restaurant. That's it. It's like we're a straw-free restaurant, you know, hashtag stop sucking, whatever. Right. It's like we just don't carry straws.
Right.
Like, and
communists.
Dude, and we have a gal, the same gal, Lauren Larkin, who did the Phoenix on the back of my Fringe Phoenix jumpsuit.
Oh yeah.
The gal who did that. Cool. She's a local artist. She's really amazing. She also like created her own font.
Oh,
like,
no shit.
Yeah, so she hand draws all our signs, and they're all in her handwriting and stuff like that. Dude, it's really cool. And it's just part of our branding. Yeah. You know what I mean? And there's signs up that are just like, you know, hey, don't deface our walls. Write on the chalkboards if you want. Or like, hey, we're a straw-free restaurant, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And this dude just seeing that sign just like set him the fuck off, dude. He's just like, I guess if you want liberal chicken wings, this is the place to go. It's like,
I mean, I guess I would know if I went into like a super MAGA restaurant.
Dude, I told my boss, I was like, I'm going to start a place right across the street called Right Wings.
Right Wings.
And our tagline's just
proper American wings.
Wings the right way. You know, make wings great again.
And you'll have like pictures of like Andy Griffith's show. Like,
oh wait, we're thinking of Gunther Tooties. That's the Andy Griffith.
Well, you know, like remember the good old days.
You remember? You remember?
When people used to be proper.
Yeah. I don't know. The stuff that people have just gotten so crazy anymore. I mean, people are getting out of control. Where are you gonna draw the line?
People coming out of the closet.
You should live in the closet your whole life, like I did, and my father did before me, and his father before. We had sex with women, and we hated it, but we did it.
We did it because God wanted it that way.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
So I wonder how religious people are, like, handling the whole thing.
That's kind of a funny thing, is church services
are still happening?
No. I mean, a lot of them shut down, and I want to say that in Washington specifically, they shut down any gatherings for the purpose of recreation or spiritual worship or what, like basically everything but essential travel.
Yeah.
Like non-essential travel and non-essential congregation is like.
An essential means
like going to work. Like
okay,
if you have to go to work.
Oh, okay.
You know, or going to the grocery store.
Right.
They've started doing, in some places they're following what Italy did, which is like in Italy, and I think this has started happening at some grocery stores, is they've limited the hours, and then they limit the number of people allowed in the store. Like only 50 people can be in the store at the same time.
Yeah.
And when you're standing in line to wait to get into the grocery store, there have to be 3 feet of space between you and the person on either side of you.
Weird.
Yeah, it's super weird. So the lines are super long because everybody has to be 3 feet apart.
Uh-huh.
So it's like each person is essentially 6.5 feet or 7 feet. You know what I
So
mean?
people carry around tape measures, like,
Everybody's just walking around with pool cues like strapped to their hips, and they're just turning around really fast. And they're like, "If you get too close to me, I'm gonna whack you with my pool cues."
Yeah, that's a good idea. Or, I mean, it doesn't have to be pool cues. It could be something that's like, it could be giant dildos. like fucking, I don't even think they make 3-foot-long dildos. Or maybe they do.
Yes, they absolutely make.
Really?
3 foot.
Okay. I mean,
Dude,
you probably shop for them more than I do. Or you keep up with the dildo industry. Like,
Dude, I have a dildo blog, man.
dildo blog. Like, just dildos sticking.
Well, dude, I'm sure there's got to be a record for the world's longest dildo.
Right. I wonder if it's used. I mean, like, not used like you can buy it used. Like, I mean, like, if somebody puts it to...
Like if somebody, like, if it was just made as a novelty item or someone's like, no, I need a
bought this to
20-foot
use.
rubber penis.
Yeah, I bought this to use it. Damn it.
Excuse me,
To
sir.
hang it on the wall.
He jump ropes with it.
I guess you can hang it on the wall and take it down when you're ready to...
Or
ready
if somebody
for
breaks in, if
penetration.
somebody breaks into your house, you can like Darth Maul it and like.
Well, I remember there was like almost a riot with like homeless people down at the skate warehouse.
I
and there
remember
was,
that.
Like, the giant, yeah.
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 Didn't you have it? Didn't you have a dildo? Someone had a
Somebody
dildo.
had a giant. I ended up with it because it make a good weapon.
Yeah, oh no, I remember that. I remember that. That was
really
fucking
stupid.
crazy,
That was
dude.
so much fun back then. Like at the skate warehouse, garage land and skate warehouse days.
Yeah,
all that
and
stuff.
Les Art Warehouse was the other one. That was Justin Lent's space.
Oh, right next door.
Yeah. And I think that's when it went down. Is there was something like there was something that ended up that like some people from the mission were throwing bottles or something like that. But there ended up being a fight between the punks at the Les Art Warehouse.
Yeah.
And then the people over at the shelter.
I remember that.
And somebody had a dildo. I think maybe Jerry had it, and then you ended up with it somehow. I don't know. Like, we're just like... because that was
Dangerous
also,
black... It's like, they might have
it was
called
a
this
gigantic black dildo.
Big
It was
Bertha.
huge.
Well,
It
maybe
was
not
huge.
Bertha. Big... I don't know. Bubba.
It was huge.
Big Bubba.
And like I think what it was is you had a bunch of stuff in the van for defense.
Yeah.
Like you had like little mini bats and clubs and stuff that we took to go on tour. And among them, I believe at that time was also a dildo, just because we thought it would be really funny to hit someone with a dildo in a fight. That's another thing. It's when you're a young person, I think especially when you're a young dude,
Yeah.
it's like I'm gonna buy some brass knuckles at the flea market, or I'm gonna buy a billy club on the internet, or I'm gonna buy a bunch of weapons. What do you need those weapons for? For self-defense. And what that translates
Seriously.
but what that translates to is I'm looking for a fight and I really want to beat someone up. So I
Yeah.
carry around blunt instruments for that express purpose in the hopes that it'll happen.
I still keep that in my van.
That's
it's kinda-
that's smart though, because
Yeah.
like, you know, if you're touring and you're going to different places,
Yeah.
you know, you gotta like we've been to Detroit
Yep.
and saw scary things.
Holy shit, yeah. Like a riot in the middle of the street. It seemed like 100 people fighting in a block.
That
a
was
block down from
crazy.
the venue.
The first time that we went there. Or like, remember the time we were on our way home and that tweaker truck stop prostitute dude, like jumped out in the middle of the highway.
Well, I think Logan was driving. He had to slow down.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. The dude jumped right
got
out in the middle of the van.
with us.
Yeah, and then we gave him a ride till. And this is the best part: is we gave him a ride to Little America, Wyoming.
Yeah,
It's like America in a microcosm.
He kept referring to himself as us.
Us.
Like we were partying at the and like
Yeah,
this
we
guy
were-
sucks.
we
This
were-
guy goes to truck stops and
blows dudes. That's
Yeah.
what. Yeah, that's
And
what
does
he was
meth.
doing. Yeah, he said we were partying at the truck stop, not I was sucking people off for money.
He might
and,
as well
and
have just
drugs.
been honest with this.
Yeah, I mean. That would be funny if, like, you grew up and that was your entire understanding of what partying was, and then somebody asks you to throw a party for, like, a 5-year-old, and you're just
okay, weird.
you're just like, why do you want me to party with a 5-year-old?
Kind of uncomfortable with that.
And it's like, they think you're gonna bring, like, you know, paper hats and cake and decorations and like a clown or something. And like they walk into the party and it's just you with like
Some
9 truckers waiting in
wet
line.
wipes and
Just like
some lube.
And you've just got like a bag for them, a bigger bag for them to throw smaller bags of meth in. And like they walk in and they're like, "What is this?" It's like, "What? I thought we were having a party."
That's how that guy talked. He's like, ugh.
That is exactly.
And he was pulled over. Didn't we go over to his car and he was like trying to find his
He was
drugs
trying
or
to find his
something?
drugs. Yeah.
And we're like, well, if you want to, he got in the van with us.
Yeah.
And we were like all sitting on either side of him and we all had baseball bats and we're just like,
Don't try anything.
looking at him the whole time.
Well, dude, it was scary. He jumped out in the middle of the highway and was just like a very sketchy character.
Yeah.
But he was stranded out in the middle of nowhere, so we weren't going to leave him.
Middle of fucking nowhere. There was nothing through there.
But like, if I had been driving by myself, I would have been terrified to pick that guy up.
Yeah.
Like just some random tweaker in the middle of nowhere, middle of the night.
He had like crazy blonde hair just like the dude in The Hitcher.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever seen The Hitcher?
Yeah.
My grandpa was in that movie.
I thought your grandpa was in Maximum Overdrive.
No, I just really like that movie.
He was in The Hitcher.
He was in The Hitcher.
That's right. He played
cop.
played a cop, right?
At the
He played
very
a
end,
sheriff.
you see him
Yeah.
walking with a shotgun.
Did your grandfather do any more acting, or was that like the only thing that he did?
Ah, shit, I think he was in something else. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure he was in
That's
something
right. I
else.
forgot your grandpa was in the Hitcher.
Yeah,
That's really funny.
just a random thing.
Yeah,
Well,
man.
now you can be in Friends movies. Like me and Rocky were in the Western. That's
That's
Still
right.
happening.
You did
for Mike.
Mike Olafson.
Yeah.
Who did Hot Lead Hard Fury.
Yeah, which you were in.
I
and
was
I
in.
was in.
I
think
still
they-
haven't seen it.
I think I have a copy of it.
Was it
so
good?
I
Did it
haven't
turn
seen
out good?
I showed up. I saw parts of it. I showed up to the Oriental to see it, but I missed my part. But yours were in there, and that was pretty funny. Like you were playing a cop that.
I was
remember.
playing like the scumbag cop,
Yeah,
like the creepy comic relief kind of dude. It was funny, and that was back when I had like the natural mullet and the
Oh, did you have a mustache?
yeah. Oh, dude, I had the stupid mustache, and I looked like a pretty creepy dude.
Hell yeah.
Dude, I looked pretty
Rocky
gross.
was in it twice.
Rocky was in it twice, really?
Yeah. Yeah, he played 2 different characters.
Mike just like ran through the whole Denver music scene and like,
Pretty much, yeah. It was like everybody was in that movie, I think.
well, it's because it took so long to make that like he kept having to get different people for different stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
right.
Because like people would like move away,
Yeah.
or get pregnant, or like just like kind of drift off into the world, and he would have to like have to like cut scenes or like edit
It's gotta be
things
a
a
pain
certain
in
way.
the ass, man.
Dude, yeah. Tell me about the movie you guys are working on with
Well,
him.
that was that one is still. I think it's got a lot of work to do, but I know he's filming on his property, doing some scenes there.
Right.
But it was supposed to take place in a cemetery in the 1800s, and a bounty hunter is chasing down a outlaw, and then there's this girl who the bounty hunter killed her brother, and she also has some sort of history with the outlaw somehow. Anyway, it all comes to like a gunfight in the cemetery. So we got to do that, and it was really fun to do. But
Did you get to like play with guns?
fuck yeah, I got to shoot blanks.
Did you get shot? Or-
Yeah, it was so much fun. I was like,
Did you guys use like
Squibs? we
squibs?
couldn't get them working.
Ah!
So there was all kinds of obstacles, and actually we tried to do it twice because one time Jody, badass sound engineer, he ended up having he had a seizure.
Oh, no
while we were
shit.
doing it. Yeah, and the first day, and he hit his head, so it was kind of like all done now. We're not continuing on. He had to go to the hospital, and then
Holy
we all
shit.
went home. Rocky rode back with me. I didn't even know he was going to be there. So when I got there and I pulled up to this house, I didn't even know who I was going to be around. And Rocky walks out. I'm like, oh, shit.
This is going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm going to be partying.
That's really cool. Like, do you have a pretty major role in it?
My character was supposed to be named Billy, and he's just like his friend, the bounty hunter's friend.
Right.
Pretty much. And then there's like another guy with us who's supposed to be like joined us along the way.
Right.
We don't really like him, I guess. It was fun, but I think some of the footage didn't work out from there, so we'll see.
What's the name of the film?
It's called it's got a long name, Tony I gotta fucking. I'll show you.
Because that's like perfect for you.
Oh man, it was badass.
Because it's like a western, like a spaghetti western.
It's supposed to take place in New Mexico, Colorado in the 1800s.
That's really cool.
It's probably one of my basically somebody I'm related to.
Right. Wait, is it based on a true story?
Mm-mm. No, but like seriously, I am me in that in Colorado. It's like it all makes sense. It all works out that I would be there. Right,
because your family is from Ignacio, right?
Yeah, down in Ignacio. Well, that part of the family's from there, and then on my dad's side, they're from Missouri. But then also on the other side of the family, they're originally from Las Vegas, New Mexico.
Oh, no way.
They came up to. Actually, they lived. Holy shit, they lived right here on the other side. When my grandma was a kid, they lived right over here on 38th and Wine Coop.
Really?
So seriously, right around the corner from here.
No way.
Yeah, it was like, I think it was like kind of, well, I always thought it was like the Chicano East Side, but there was a German family that lived next to them.
Right.
And there's that story about the German kids, when they used to play when they were kids, they were like next door neighbors, and then they disappeared in like 30-something, 37. They upped and moved away. And my uncle...
Oh, really?
His buddy, there was the next door neighbor, his childhood friend, moved away, and they never saw each other again. Until my uncle was a paratrooper, jumped into France on D-Day, and ended up getting shot and captured, and he was in a German hospital. And next to him, in a German uniform, was his buddy from when he was a kid.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, but they couldn't talk to each other because they would have gotten...
Because it's the enemy.
Yeah, this is a story that, like... He didn't talk about it a lot, but I think my grandma
Wait a
told
minute.
my mom.
Okay, so little German kid living in Denver in the 30s.
Right around the corner, like blocks
living
away
in
from
Denver
here.
in the 30s, and then your uncle.
Yeah.
Native American dude?
No, he was like Hispanic.
So Hispanic dude.
Yeah.
Growing up in Denver, American.
Yeah.
Kid disappears. Years later, your uncle is in France in D-Day.
Yeah, in prison.
And ends up in a fucking prison, like a POW hospital?
I guess so. Or I mean, I think it was a German hospital, and he was captured.
Right.
Captured.
And ended up in a bed right next to the
stomach.
kid that he grew up with.
Yeah. They didn't talk to each other, though.
Insane.
Yeah.
That's insane. It's weird that they would uproot and go back to Germany.
I think a lot of
leave. Is that something that happened? Like people went back to Germany?
I think their dad was military. And
so he was called back.
Yeah, he was he was in World War I.
So he wasn't an expat. He was like still technically enlisted in the German People's Army.
Right. And when they they got the call back to the motherland or fatherland or whoever.
Well, so but that's another thing too. Is it's like there's like the Nazis were a political party.
Yeah.
And then so like the Nazis were a political party.
Yeah.
That happened to come into power and be in control of the German People's Army, which was kind of a separate thing. So this guy probably would have been in the military before Hitler was even in power.
Yeah, if he was in World War I mean, yeah, he was connected with the
Kaiser
military.
or whatever.
Yeah.
You know more about this than I do because a lot of people may not get Kaiser Wilhelm. Yeah. People don't. A lot of people may not know this, but you are like a big time history buff, like a
I'm
war and history
fucking
buff.
history nerd.
Yeah, man.
I was a Civil War buff when I was 5.
Dude, that's so fucking funny, dude.
Yeah,
I remember when we would go on tour, you would always have some sort of like World War II book or some,
or we'd be
or
going through
Vietnam.
battlefields. We'd be like, "That's a battlefield right there."
Right. When we went to when we went to
man asses.
Yeah, when we went to the South, we went to some cemetery in Richmond.
Oh yeah.
And we went walking around in the cemetery in Richmond, and like you knew all this stuff about all these battles, and
because Richmond was the last battle of the Civil War,
Right.
when it was like you see pictures of World War II villages bombed out. That's what Richmond looked like.
Right.
Back then. It was just destroyed.
remember when we went swimming in the James River with Danny Black.
That's
From
right,
a bloody
yeah.
crackdown, who used to be in Guar,
Fuck yeah.
or used to be in the slave pit in Guar.
He had the movie Platoon on cassette tape in his car, so you could just listen to it, like
That's right,
just sad music and mean words.
dude. And he thought we were such dorks for being able to quote that whole movie. He's like, why do you guys like Platoon so much? That's like,
He had it on a fucking.
I know, and we're like,
cassette
what are
tape.
you talking about? You have it on cassette
You
tape.
can't even see it.
Yeah,
You
you're just
listen
listening
to the
to it.
movie.
So, but we went down to the James River, and it was like right at the site of one of their armories or something like that, right?
Oh shit!
Like
I
there
don't
was an
remember.
old Civil War building back there that was like an old armory of theirs or
And
something.
there was like chunks of old bridges too. Like
That's what I was gonna
Revolutionary
say.
War bridges.
Is there was the pylons from the Civil War,
Yeah.
and then a little further out from that was pylons from the Revolutionary War.
Right.
That was like, because it's like
Cool.
Richmond was not only like Civil War history, but it was also like Revolutionary War
And
history.
everything else.
Yeah,
pretty
man.
much before yeah.
That was wild, man.
And then I remember swimming into the river. The current was pretty strong, and I went to this island, this little tiny island. I was like, it was kind of like Arnold, like crawling on. But then I realized it was completely covered in shit. The fucking island was completely covered in like, I don't know what kind of. I think it looked like bird.
Yeah,
shit or something.
and you were like,
I was like, oh, bird shit island. Because there's just like a relief to get to there because the current was pretty strong. It was kind of like, all right, fuck. Gross.
Yeah,
Not like
man.
the James Rivers. It's probably dirty as hell.
Well, and they had those rope swings.
Mm-hmm.
Or they had that rope swing.
I don't think I did that.
Well, we did the rope swing, and then
That's where Jerry hurt himself.
yeah, Jerry hurt himself, and Spike swam after him and
Oh, no,
scratched his
Daddy.
face all up. Yeah. But then there was those like younger dudes that were like jumping off all the way from the top of the train bridge.
Oh yeah, fuck that.
Like
dude.
we're like scared to go off the rope swing on like the first pylon, but these dudes were like up on top of the bridge.
I'm not gonna do that shit.
Fuck no. And like at the time I was like, oh dude, I'm brave, and then I went, no, I'm not brave. Those guys were fucking psychopaths, man.
Right, or maybe they were good at it.
Yeah, or maybe they were good at it because they grew up around it.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah.
I'll hurt myself. You hit that water the wrong way, it's just like getting smacked against the wall.
Oh yeah, it's like that's why have you ever seen a diving show where there's like people that are like jumping off of a really high dive into a small pool or something like that?
I don't think I've seen
Like at a carnival or
Casablanca?
a circus or something like that. Even higher than that, like
Oh.
really high dives. They will usually have someone who's down at the bottom breaking the surface tension,
Oh really?
just splashing the water
that's a
so
good idea.
that when you hit it, it's not like
Flat.
hitting concrete and splattering all over the place. You know what I mean?
People get hurt that way.
Like if you hear stories about people water skiing, like my dad went water skiing with my Uncle Joe 5 in Oklahoma,
Yeah.
and he was like, that was the first and last time I water skied because I fell down because your Uncle Joe 5 was a crazy, he was a crazy Ozark redneck from
Right.
Oklahoma, from the backwoods of Oklahoma. So
Yeah.
he would like floor it in his speedboat and just be like, "Ee-hoo!" And my dad is just like, and I fell down.
God.
Yeah. He's like, oh shit. And he just like felt like he was being dragged across concrete.
Shit.
And he was like, I never did that again.
Yeah.
That fucking hurt.
I don't want to go water skiing. I bet I would actually like it.
I've done it. I've been wakeboarding.
Wakeboarding? What's that?
It's like water skiing, but it's like the wakeboarding is to water skiing as snowboarding is to skiing.
Okay.
So it's like one board and you stand up on top of it, and I pretty much just fell on my face over and over again and got dragged through the water and
Holy shit.
and swallowed God knows what, dude. I probably swallowed like bottle caps and tampons and condoms and all sorts of human shit. And like, who knows? Yeah, dude, there's got to be so much little kid poop in like lakes and reservoirs and stuff.
Definitely
like
my poop. Just kidding.
I know you're not.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Or like going to the. Did anybody ever shit in the? Did we go shit in the ocean? Is that a thing that happened?
Is that
I think
a
I
thing
did
that-
a couple times.
Or is that a dream that I had?
I had a dream. We all were taking dumps in the ocean. It's pretty. It was nice to
I mean, look, I pooped in the bathtub a couple times when I was a little kid.
I remember doing that too.
So I am, poop
Bathtub
pals.
poopers.
Bathtub shitters.
Brown in the tub.
When the tub turns brown, mash it down. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, mash it down.
Mash it
What do
down.
they call that? Making
A brown waffle?
yeah, waffles.
Making
Gross.
waffles.
So gross.
Stomping grapes.
People are gonna have to start doing that now that there's no more toilet paper.
Yeah, now that you can't wipe your butt anymore, you have to poop in the shower.
Yep.
I was
I didn't realize this many people wiped.
Dude, you're going to love this. You're going to love this. I didn't realize this
Judging-
many people wiped.
Based on the way they drive.
So I was listening to this this episode of the Joe Rogan podcast, and he was talking about Joey Diaz. Do you know who Joey Diaz is?
Yeah.
He's like this comedian. He's
Yeah.
this old motherfucker. Everybody's a cocksucker. Like, he's a really funny guy, right? And I guess he was telling this story about taking poops and like taking a shit in the shower into your hand and then throwing it into the toilet.
God. Gross.
He's like, I had to stop doing it. My wife caught me.
What if wife catch you doing that?
But it's like, you know what I'm saying? You're in the shower. You got to take a shit.
Joey, you pooping in your hands again in the shower?
I was just like, is that a thing that people do?
I don't know.
They just like, oh, I'm in the shower and I suddenly have to take a shit. I'm gonna get out and just make a mess all over the floor.
Well, you're going to put a towel down when you get out of the shower anyway, so you don't, like, drip water all over the floor. So just put a towel down next to the toilet. And
Yeah, take a shit, get down, or just, I mean, the toilet is probably usually right next to it. So this is
Yeah.
what I would recommend. Don't even just
poke
like
your butt out the curtain.
Yeah, just poke your butt out of the curtain, or do it bridge style. Keep your feet in the shower so your tootsies don't get cold, and then sit on the toilet so you're like side saddling the toilet. You know what I
Right.
mean? Not a
Yeah.
full AC Slater where you're
Oh,
like
God,
facing
I
it.
love that term.
Yeah, the Slater shit.
You know?
But no, like you've got.
I'm going to do that.
So let's pretend this is the toilet, and then this is the inside of the shower. Like, obviously, it's kind of a weird angle. The ACs. I don't think it really works so well with these.
It's really
'cause they've
hard
got,
with this chair.
Yeah, because they've got the little ramps on the side.
It's cool, though. I can dig it for a second.
Have you ever taken an AC Slater shit? You should try it out. It's pretty cool. You got to take your pants all the way off.
Yeah, I
man.
don't
It's
like
pretty
that.
cool. Yeah, but I mean, I'm thinking if first of all,
even pulling them down.
if I was first of all, usually I know if I'm going to need to shit soon before I take a shower. I've never gotten into the shower and been like, I really need to shit like right now, and had to like get out of the shower and do it. So I can't imagine.
But why would you shit in your... I mean, I guess you're already in a place that everything's getting clean.
That's the thing.
So-
Is I think that was his rationale. Is he's talking about like, what's the problem? I take it, I shit in my hand, I throw it in the toilet, and I wash my hands. What's the big deal? But then I guess
I get it. Makes sense. It's just gross. 'Cause
It'd
you
be
gotta touch poop.
well, it'd be worse if you like took a shit and then threw it into the tub. That would probably be way
Like,
worse.
took a dump in the toilet and then pulled it out of the toilet and threw it. I'd just be like, that's some gorilla shit.
Or just like if your toilet breaks, like it becomes
You have to
clogged
pull
or
it
something
out.
like that. You
I think people use too much toilet paper.
You know what? I got to tell you, I really imagined that you and I were going to sit down and we were going to just say all this like inspiring and positive and uplifting stuff about the situation the world's in right now. And we have literally talked about poop and G.I. Joes and farts.
Yeah, you know what you're getting. You got Tay coming.
I know. Dude, I'm really glad you're here, man.
Yeah.
I'm really glad you're here. And I've been trying to get you on for a while. And
I thought this was out in the suburbs or some shit.
Oh, no, man. I mean, it's great, dude.
I was like, cool, fucking A, Denver, because I don't want to go to the suburbs.
No, dude. I mean, it's been really great. Like,
This is uncomfortable.
But in all seriousness, I need to sit down like a human being. No, it's like, you know, the guys and I have talked about it before, and it's like we legitimately miss you. You know what I mean?
It's fucking awesome seeing you guys the other night.
Yeah, man. It was really cool seeing you there. And
What, twice?
Yeah.
Well, kind of. I mean, you and... Well, yeah, because Jerry...
Oh, yeah. Because you came to the Ruckus show, and then you came to the White Fudge show. Yeah, man.
I was late. I missed... I'm bummed because I missed the other bands at the Goosetown.
It was a great show, man.
I had to go catch Officer Down at Streets.
Oh, Officer Down played.
Yeah. And it was Jamie's, I think, moving away, so... Well, fuck, it doesn't matter. No bands are playing anyway. But,
Right.
So, yeah, I went and caught them. They all dressed like cops, and
Right.
they covered Police Truck and what's the Body Count song?
Is Colden in that band too?
Colden's, yeah, he's the front.
So what is that? Jamie DeSoto and Colden and who else?
And who else is in the band? Yako and their drummer, and I just met him, who's also playing in Holly 750, and he's a madman. He's older than all them, and he's a great fucking drummer.
Where did they
so
play?
Much energy. They played at Streets.
Oh, that's really cool, man.
Yeah, it was fun.
No, it was really cool to see you there, man. And it's been really cool to follow your career. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To like see Hot Apostle, like to see you taking, number one, your songwriting style and your guitar ability and your work ethic over to Hot Apostles and everything you did with that band and how hard you pushed that band, and then, you know, seeing you expand beyond that and become this like almost hired gun and like doing Decatur. And
I loved it, and Decatur's a fun band.
Yeah,
Decatur worked with Lance.
Really?
Yeah, that's Lance formed. Lance is the one that got me into that.
Lance
band.
Bendixson got you into Decatur?
Yeah.
No fucking way.
Yeah,
dude.
he's the one that introduced us all. But then we kind of didn't work with him anymore, and he moved away. But it was like,
that's really interesting.
Really glad that he introduced all of us.
Yeah,
to each
that's
other,
really cool.
That was a fun band to be in, you know.
But then seeing you, you know, work with Aaron Hart and Love Stallion and like you're doing exactly what you said you always wanted to do.
Driving a van, playing guitar.
Yeah, driving a van and play guitar.
Hell yeah.
And do the minimum you need to do in terms of like a straight job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're delivering wine to
like you said, that's perfect for me, dude.
Dude, it's absolutely perfect.
To talk to people all day long, and so, like some people are really cool, some people are dicks, but I get to meet all these cool fucking
and you
people.
get to stay out and see the city and
I get to see the changing. I get to be in it all the time. I get to watch people's behavior, which is fucking.
It's weird, man. It's weird.
Dude,
people are a trip, man.
Yeah, I was driving out of Union Station down. I was going up 16th, and I was going to turn on Wine Coop, make a right turn on Wine Coop, and I'm waiting for my light to turn green. And when my light does turn green, some person on their phone walks out in front of me. And then all of a sudden, the whole crowd of people, like lemmings, just kind of all fucking walk out in front of me. My light turns green, and they're all just like walking into the street. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Because one person did it?
Yeah, because one person on their phone wasn't paying attention, and they all just kind of followed. And I'm just like, honked my horn like a couple times, like lightly, and I'm pointing at the light, and somebody's like, and I'm like, and so I put my head out. I'm like, I said something like, hey, wake the fuck up, you sheep. I got a green light. Right there, it's green.
You know, up a light and shit?
Yeah. Well, it's like, because they were sheep. They were behaving.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Like, so I heard something that, like, there's an experiment where that was conducted. I want to say it was in the 70s or 80s, something like that, where they filmed a bunch of people, like basically would be talking to someone and getting directions from someone.
Yeah.
And in the middle of the conversation, like the person who's not in on the experiment, like the person that's being observed, like turn away or something, and they would switch out the person. Or they'd go to like a pharmacy counter and one pharmacist would be helping them, and then they would just replace him with another person. And they would ask people about it later, and they, in most cases, didn't even realize that they changed the person. Or like, even when you showed it to them on the video, they didn't get it. There was even another experiment that was done with like, there was a some sort of performance on a stage. Yeah. And they were supposed to watch these people doing the task on a stage, and in the middle of it, someone in a gorilla suit came running on stage, beat their chest, like stood out there for a minute, and then ran off. Yeah. And then they asked the people afterwards to tell them what they saw and this, that, and the other. Most of the people in the experiment didn't see the gorilla. Huh. And even when they watched the video back later, a certain percentage of them didn't even see the gorilla the second time.
So just like people...
It's like this selective observation thing that we have.
Which, I mean, everybody has their own version of that, I guess. Because I have things that I'm... I don't know. You know? But then there's other things like when it comes to traffic, I'm very fucking...
Oh, dude, you definitely want you behind the wheel when it comes to like driving around and doing band stuff, because
I love it,
dude. But you love it, but you also like have some of the worst road rage I've ever.
I've worked on it though. I don't have it. Yeah,
you don't freak out on people anymore.
Not anymore. I have to laugh it off because sometimes the stupid shit that people do, if I can just hold on a sec before I get angry, I can realize how dumb that was. And it's just like, wow, okay.
I don't lose my temper very often, but I am blown away. Like, this is another thing, and like with the COVID-19 shit going on, the scariest thing that I have observed is the way people are driving.
Holy fucking shit, I know.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like, dude, like people are driving like they are not paying attention at all.
Right. And they're cutting across lanes and just doing all kinds of like quick, jerky movements that...
Running lights.
I've seen a lot
like
of that.
Peeling out, like they're trying to get away from something. Like people are driving like they're fucking panicked, man.
I know. That's the scariest thing is like people's behavior, because fuck, shit's just gonna kind of suck. Yeah. That's just accept it rather than panic over it. Just kind of experience it, because you don't really have a choice.
This is something that Sarah and I were talking about today, is we are so privileged right now.
Yeah.
And I'm not just talking about, we don't even have to subcategorize it into individual groups.
No.
You know what I mean? We are all. Like, especially, like, we here in the U.S.
We have plumbing.
Right?
I mean, even if we don't, even, like, homeless people don't have plumbing. Right. But there's, I don't know how to say it. The world we live in is very convenient.
The world we live in is extremely convenient and like, we are very comfortable and prosperous and privileged and spoiled. And if you are, I want to say, if you make over $30,000 a year, you're in the top 2% worldwide.
Over 30.
If you make over $30,000 a year, you're in the top 2%.
Top 2%.
Yeah,
worldwide.
Serious? I think that's the number. I would have to check that, but that's
is it an Aaron fact?
No, it's not an Aaron fact. It's not an Aaron fact. It's just like when you take into account the global averages.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? When you take into account the level of poverty that there is in the world, if you make over $30,000, like the poverty line,
there's some poverty in the world,
right? But the poverty line, according to the UN, is $1.90 a day, and so. But here's the other thing: is the UN predicts that we will have surpassed the poverty line globally, like within the next 10 years or something like that.
Surpass the poverty line.
So basically, there won't be anyone. There will be virtually no one left on the planet who makes below $1.90 a day.
Oh,
Like. So we're making strides in like closing in on poverty. Like we live in the best times that humans have ever lived in.
Yeah, and it's just going to keep.
What I mean, and it's just getting ideally.
Yeah, I mean, some things are going to keep getting better, like technology.
If trends continue, we will only get better and better. We'll only get smarter. We'll only get more prosperous. We'll only get, healthier and wealthier and live longer and longer. Like it. I'm an optimist. I like to think that we will. Mm-hmm. Barring some sort of major catastrophe like, I don't know, a pandemic, we should be fine. As long as a global pandemic doesn't happen, we'll be fine. But it's been very interesting to see people who are used to that level of comfort and used to not like the commoditized world we live in and are used to having everything at their fingertips and used to being able to go wherever they want, whenever they want, and live a pretty insulated existence. People aren't used to that.
Right.
And when something comes and throws a monkey wrench in it, it freaks them out. And they go and they panic buy all the fucking toilet paper and water and shove 20-year-old girls to get cases of water away from them. You know what I mean? No, I told you about that, right?
Yeah, I can't believe that.
Yeah, man.
Happened, though.
Well, and then, of course, her response.
I saw a fight, too.
Dude, you saw a fight in a grocery store?
No, in a video.
A video of a fight.
Yeah.
But, I've, heard people who are, non-violent, anti-gun types who are like, maybe we should get a gun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've heard
scary,
about that.
They don't know how to use them.
Right. And I've heard about it from a few different people. And I think what it is they're just so used to the level of prosperity that we become accustomed to.
Right.
They just freak out. And for that matter, I do not begrudge those people at all.
Yeah.
I have more of a problem with the people who are kind of righteously wagging their finger at other people right now. The people who are going, shame on you for this and shame on you for that, and you should be doing this, and this is the right thing and this is the wrong thing. Well, it's also like we're getting information at more or less the same rate.
I know. This is all 1 day at a time type shit.
And so you got to realize it's going to take people time to acclimate, number one. And number two, it's like I really do like to believe that people are doing the best they can with the information they have available.
Right.
And that's something I learned from your dad.
Yeah.
Is everyone is doing the best they can with the resources available to them, based on their model of the world.
Right.
And you see those people who are like panic buying and who are freaking out, and in their minds, they really think that it's only a matter of days before it's Mad Max and the Outlanders are going to come.
They probably hope that's the case. Some people are probably excited about it.
So we have part 1 and part 2 of Apocalypse Culture at home. It's a book. It's a book series that talks about how human beings have always been obsessed with the apocalypse.
Right.
And yet we're still here.
Right.
I think in a lot of ways it's wishful thinking maybe.
What has ever happened that it was like that in any way?
Well,
other than wars.
So according to
the Depression, stuff like that. Well,
there have been events throughout history that are major catastrophes. So there's this guy. I just saw this video a few months ago. This guy, Randall Carlson, I think is the guy's name, but he's this master builder, Freemason, kind of armchair scientist dude.
Okay.
He's an interesting character.
Yeah.
But he talks about how human beings, modern humans, have been around something like 160,000 years, and yet our knowledge of history is only about 12,000 years old.
Right.
Civilization, as far as modern human civilization as we know it.
It took a while to start documenting this shit.
Well, but looking at the geological record,
yeah,
it seems to point that around every 10,000 years, there's some sort of near extinction level event that has almost wiped us out.
Huh.
Some sort of major earthquake or some sort of disease
Right.
or something that has diminished the population substantially. And he
As a
theorized
whole or just in certain areas?
as a whole.
Huh.
And he posit, like, you know, I don't know if he's right or wrong, but he posits that it's something that has happened over and over again. And one of the reasons we don't have history any further back than 10, 12,000 years
Right.
is because humanity's been almost wiped out multiple times, you know, like a dozen or more times.
I mean, and was anybody really documenting a lot then before that, though?
Well, but that's kind of the point, is it's like, you know, there have been artifacts that have like shown up that we can't really explain.
Right.
That are
That's
like
exciting.
more advanced than they should be.
Yeah.
There was like, have you seen the thing, the Baghdad Battery? Do you know what that is?
I feel like I heard of it.
Like it was found in an archaeological dig, and it
Baghdad
seems
Battery?
to be a battery that was made by an earlier civilization that is way older than it should be.
Huh.
Like things like
It's
that.
in Baghdad?
Yeah, they found it outside
So
of Baghdad
would that be
in Iraq. Yeah.
Who was there before?
Oh, it'd have been the Mesopotamians. But I mean, I think it even predates
Really?
Mesopotamia. Yeah. So I mean, anyway, this the theory is
Yeah.
like the theory is that if you check the geological record, we've actually come close to extinction dozens of times. We've come close a bunch of times. Like, there's a reason that there are so many life forms on the earth
Yeah.
that aren't here anymore.
Yeah.
Like, because something came around and wiped them out.
Right.
And for some reason, human beings have managed to persist despite the handful of things that have happened throughout the history of our species.
Right.
It's kind of fascinating to think about.
Because we're crafty.
Because we're crafty. Because we're shisty, crafty, little...
Full of shit, little.
Yeah, but industrious, man. And,
Industrious.
like, look, I know that things are kind of a mess right now, and I know that they seem really crazy, but the fact
Yeah.
that we have this technology that allows us to communicate the way that we do, the fact that we have this technology that allows us to see microscopic organisms, the fact that we have technology that is like, you know, there was a time when people would have been like, what the fuck is a vaccine? And now we live in a time where it's like, it's going to take us a while to make a vaccine.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or it's going to take us a while to make an antiviral. Like 200 years ago, they would have been like, ghosts are haunting your body and that's why you're sick. We have to murder you. You know what I mean? And 200 years ago wasn't that fucking long.
No.
Yeah.
Well, but it wouldn't have spread this. Well, I mean, I guess the plagues in Europe spread pretty quickly, but that was spread by rats and fleas.
Fleas on the rats.
But here, I think it spread so fast because of just how people catch it.
Right.
It's just so easy to catch.
Well, we also became aware of it very quickly.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With the plague, they didn't have ways to get information from doctors in other countries.
No.
They're just like, it must be the smell of dead things in the air that is making everybody sick.
What must have been that traitor, the traveler that came here with all the bumps on his face.
Yeah. Or like, you know, doctors that are wearing those spooky bird masks that they'd like stuff full of flowers and stuff like that because they thought that would protect them, you know.
How did we even last that long?
See, that's kind of my point, is it's like, if we can make it through that,
yeah,
we can get through...
That wiped out a large...
wiped out a shitload of people.
Yeah.
If we can get through that, we can get through less than the super flu.
Right.
Speaking of which, did you see the Stephen King quote?
No.
Stephen King put out this tweet that was like, this is nothing like The Stand. Please quit making that reference. And then somebody wrote him back, tweeted at Stephen King. It's like, you don't know what you're talking about. Did you even read that book?
Oh my god. Holy shit.
And I don't know if it was someone trying to be ironic, but it was really, really funny to see that. Man.
Shut up, Stephen King. You don't know.
You don't know what you're talking about, Stephen King, author of The Stand.
Book was boring anyway. Did you see the Stand, like the TV show?
Yeah, dude, that was one of my favorite made-for-TV movies ever.
Oh, that and the Langoliers.
Dude, it was way better than the
The
Langoliers.
Langoliers sucked.
Yeah, the Langoliers was awful.
It was really bad.
Dude, I even liked the It miniseries. I thought
The
the
kids, like the one from back in the day with
Yeah.
Tim Curry. Yeah, I liked it too.
Yeah,
I
the one
liked
with
the
Tim
kids
Curry.
one.
Yeah.
The adult one, the next one sucked.
Really?
I thought so. The acting was terrible.
What was his name? Harry from Night Court was on that.
Who was that? Which character was that?
He was Richie,
Oh, I'm trying to remember.
and he ends up becoming a comedian. Remember? And
Was Richie the redhead kid, the funny one?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And then what's his name? John Ritter was. John Ritter was. Oh my God, I can't remember the character's name.
What?
The
role?
fat kid.
Oh, the fat kid.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
yeah.
And
He
then-
was
and
Ben.
then-
He was
Ben,
Ben.
that's right. And then the main, or like the kind of leader of their little.
Was the guy who played Hank Williams Jr. in the made-for-TV Hank Williams
Oh, really?
Jr. movie.
That's
yeah.
the guy that was in All Quiet on the Western Front, right?
Yeah, and played John Boy in The Waltons.
Oh yeah. Just that name, the Waltons.
Waltons.
makes me just.
I have no idea why that show was so popular.
The
Did you ever
Waltons.
see the Hank Williams Jr. made-for-TV
Oh,
movie?
I gotta see this now,
Dude, when I was a kid,
Does he talk like this?
when I was a kid, I remember seeing it and thinking it was awesome. And then I watched it as an adult, and I was like, "This is the shittiest goddamn movie." Because
I'm
it's
gonna
just
watch
like
it tonight.
the whole movie is him like, "I'm wild and crazy, and I like to drink and do drugs, and my dad was Hank Williams, and da 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 da, and I don't want the money. I want to be my own man, and I'm crazy." And
Right.
and then he gets in a rock climbing accident, and it just changes him. Like he grows
That's
a
what
beard and
actually
gets sun-
happened
That
then,
is what
right?
actually happened. But like the portrayal of him as a character is just really, really funny. If you can imagine
I gotta
Bill
see it.
from It, the stuttering kid from It, playing Hank Williams Jr.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't fucking
Go home and
picture
watch it.
'cause
It's
that
on
guy
YouTube.
just seems so like, just
Go home and watch it tonight.
all right.
The Hank Williams
I also wanna
Jr.
see
made.
the ZZ Top movie. Have you watched it?
Ty and Logan and I went and saw it in the theater.
Was it on the theater?
Yeah, it was so good. They did a limited showing of it when it came out in the theaters. It's so good.
Is
dude.
it good? Cool.
It's like
on Netflix now, right?
yeah, it is, and it gave me a lot of appreciation for Billy Gibbons, especially
Fucking Billy Gibbons, awesome.
because he's like talking about like they were on a break because Frank Beard went to rehab,
Right.
and Billy Gibbons is just like, well, so I went out to England and I'm like pogo in with punk rockers, and then I'm like going to transcendental meditation school in India, and then I'm taking psychedelics here. Like he's just like
Pretty
this
good impression of him.
dude.
I think.
He's just like this hippie vagabond, like redneck blues man,
and
dude.
he was one of Jimi Hendrix's favorite guitar players.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Billy Gibbons was.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Imagine that is the coolest. Like,
That's like the highest compliment. man.
yeah, you're Hendrix's hero.
It's like Jimi Hendrix is like, man, you know who I'd really like is that Billy Gibbons. Hey,
Billy Gibbons is like, that was me.
he likes me. He likes
likes
me.
me.
He likes me.
I gotta make my fucking route for tomorrow. Let me just look at this real quick.
Hey,
because-
no, it's cool, man. Actually, this is a good time for us to call it.
Okay.
I'm
What are you
really
doing
glad. I'm gonna go home and hang out with my kid and my lady and enjoy what's left of my birthday, and then
Yeah, happy birthday.
thanks, man.
Oh yeah.
And then tomorrow we're gonna have family day and do our normal shit, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so you're going home right now?
Yeah, I'm gonna go home. Why? What are you doing?
Well, I gotta make my route, and it shouldn't take long because all the fucking restaurants are dropped off.
Right.
But I gotta make it real quick. I just gotta, cause they send me the stops, and I choose the order I'm gonna do it in because if they do it, it's just sometimes it doesn't work out.
They don't route it super well.
Well, yeah, because it's like types of things where like the alleyways is where you deliver, and so like for example, if you have one thing on Blake Street and the next thing on Wazee, but they share the same alley, you put them next to each other.
Right.
But
They don't do that.
Sometimes you'll get things where it's like you deliver to the one on Blake Street, and then you deliver somewhere across downtown, and then the next one over here. It's like, why?
Right. That's
It
dumb.
just doesn't make sense.
There's apps for that, like routing optimization apps.
Oh, yeah, I got one, actually, I use for suburb routes.
Oh, cool.
It's called Pin Drop, and it's cool because you type in all the addresses, and it drops a pin, and then you can back up and see them, and then you can be like, oh, okay, I can see a pattern of how I should do this.
Right.
So it's just Pin Drop.
That's cool. Cool. I'll check it out.
I guess it'd come in handy for booking a tour.
Well,
maybe.
Hey man, I really do appreciate you coming in and hanging out
Hell
with me.
yeah.
It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I
It's
want to
been
do it
great
again
to catch
if
up.
that's cool.
I would love to have you back, man. I'd love to have you back on an episode when we have like Logan or Jerry or one of the other guys in here.
Oh, do you normally have multiple people?
Sometimes Gordo normally produces the show, but like I
okay.
said, he stayed home.
Is he not feeling good or something?
According to him, somebody in their circle of friends tested positive for COVID-19.
Oh,
So
shit.
he's doing the responsible thing and
Yeah.
like,
Are they
and
supposed to be playing tomorrow night or tonight?
yeah, that's not happening. They backed out of their show at Larimer Lounge just because of
Because of
what's
that?
fucking happening, dude.
Right.
It's crazy. So a lot of people are bailing on gigs, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to
kinda
remind
glad.
myself that it's not like gigs are going to stop happening forever.
Right.
You know,
House parties.
We just got
Speakeasies.
we just got to take a break for a while.
Yeah.
And try and, you know.
Do you think there's probably gonna be a bunch of house parties and like speakeasy action happening?
Yeah, I mean, and there will be stuff like that.
Hey,
and,
I'm not cool enough to find out about this stuff, so everybody please let me know.
right. Right. I haven't heard about a house party in probably 5 years.
We don't want you here, dork.
Yeah. Get out of here, old man. Yeah, what are you, a cop?
I love playing house parties.
Yeah, they're super fun.
Do you remember the one where we played a bunch of house parties, but god damn, so many fucking
Yeah.
There was like the cops came at the one. We got all quiet.
Oh, yeah.
And
That
then,
was
like,
in Orange, California.
It was in Orange, so we got like the song really fucking quiet.
Yeah, we stayed quiet. That we did the whole breakdown while it's Kevin McCabe.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was
Kevin-
the escape.
Yeah, it was the rock art house.
The rock art
in
house.
In Orange, California, and they had the skate bowl in the back.
Yeah.
And they're throwing a house party, and we were playing in the living room, and then the cops came, and Kevin's like, shut up. And so, like, in the middle of a song, we were playing Mouth, and we broke it way down, and we were like, doom, boom, doom, 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 doom. We're,
Yeah.
like, on the ground, playing all quiet. We kept it going for fucking ever.
I know.
And
And then they
then-
left finally.
And then Kevin comes back, and he goes, all right, we're good. The cops are gone. And we're, like, dude,
Don't stop the song.
I really wish that we had
filmed
that. That's like one of those magic things that happens that like you could not possibly recreate if you wanted to.
Right.
And I remember the cops said the most Orange County thing they could have said,
What?
which is like Kevin went out and talked to him, and they were like, all right, well, it sounds hella sick in there, but we're going to have to come and arrest people if we get any more complaints.
I'm a cop and it sounds hella sick,
yeah,
man.
dude, sounds hella sick in there.
Have you seen that Saturday Night Live thing?
Californians?
I love that shit.
Have you seen the SoCal
Californians.
Minute?
No.
The SoCal Minute's pretty good too.
SoCal Minute?
Yeah, it's like it's supposed to be like a really low budget cable access show, and it's got Jonah Hill on it, and it's
Is it Saturday
real.
Night Live?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is he?
SoCal Minute. It's a great
SoCal
sketch.
All right, I'll
Yeah.
look.
Well, hey,
All
we're
right.
gonna call it for this episode. Tay, thanks so much for coming and hanging out.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks
I'm gonna go
everybody
eat
for
some food.
watching. We're gonna keep doing these episodes during the quarantine, and we hope you guys will keep tuning in. And also, if you can think of any other ways that we can be of service, one of the things that I'm really looking to do right now is figure out ways that I can be of service to people. So, reach out, let us know what you'd like to see. We do have live streaming and recording capabilities over here at the Nug Nation. So I think we're gonna do some stuff while this is going on to keep everybody connected. We love you lots. Stay safe. Wash your goddamn hands. Wash your ass. Wash your ass.
Wash that damn crack.
Yeah. Wash your goddamn ass.
Damn it, people.
Thanks so much to my guest, Tay Hamilton. Big shout out to my producer, Gordo, who is at home riding it out. Shout out to all our sponsors. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for hanging out. This has been episode 98 of the motherfucking podcast, and we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye. Bye-bye. Oh, wait.
Oh, wait. Are you just going to do that one?
There we go.
Yeah. Well, you could read it, too. There's, like, all kinds of...
Oh,
there's
what kind?
There's a story that goes along with it. It's all about
seismic blast.
Yeah, and there's a picture.
That's fucking great. All right, we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
I gotta pee so bad. I'm hungry. I gotta go eat some food.